Hello and welcome to Two Man Game with Damon and Dom. I'm Damon, that's Dom, and you are the listener. We are here Thursday, September 11th, episode 90. My goodness, that's a high number. We're getting there, we're getting there. It's been a week, heck of a week, lots of things going on in the country, but we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about ball, the ethical style, and that's what we do. Dom, how are you?
Oh, good to see you. I'm good. I am. I know you're a little under the weather. I'm tired from just been a busy week. We had a show Tuesday night. It was a lot of fun, and just been still like trying to get sleep after that. But so much has been happening with like Eurobasket, which I'm going to update everyone on, and basketball is just around the corner because of 22 man game. Shout out, try to watch football, trying to get into that. I know there's a game going on right now, so.
On
Um,
my screen right here. It's there.
Very good, very good. But no, I'm feeling all right. I'm very excited about talking about some ethical ball and whatnot. How are you doing?
Yeah, you mentioned I'm a little under the weather. That is true. But we power through and we mean business. No days off, except I took the day off yesterday from work because I wasn't feeling well. But you
One
get it.
day off.
One day,
One
one
day
day
off.
off. Yeah. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Spotify, YouTube, blah 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 blah. Let's jump in, shall we? First,
Please.
with a little WNBA news, Asia Wilson has averaged 27.4 points, 12 rebounds, and 2.4 assists on 52.9% shooting from the field, 52.2% from three during the Las Vegas Aces 14-game win streak, in which they are crushing the WNBA. For those of you that don't know, the WNBA season is 40 games, the regular season. So almost half the regular season they have won consecutively. So big shout out to her. Has won MVP before, of course. Great player.
Twice. Is this
Yeah.
you think a third time is down is coming? It's coming soon.
MVP thrice. It could be. It could be.
Three
I could
VP, as they keep
three
saying.
VP. I like
As
that one.
I'm
Yeah.
just saying that I'm bringing it back.
He's bringing
Never
it
left.
back from nowhere because it's never existed.
It's always been
Um,
here. But that's crazy. I know I'm gonna try to. I don't know if the Sparks will make the playoffs. If they do, I will go to a game because
mhm. That
that
would be
should be
awesome.
very fun. In other news to NBA, Olivier Maxence Prosper, you might know as Omax, who was on the Mavericks, signed a two-way deal with the Grizzlies. I wonder if he'll get any minutes playing there. I think he'll be able to play a couple of bench minutes for sure. But we said that he'll find a home, and he did. I think the Grizzlies are a good place for him. They need some kind of defense, and he's able to provide a little bit of that. Still very young, so can develop even more.
Yeah, I feel like they have a lot of random young wings over there in
Yeah.
Memphis, but we will see who will pop. Other contract signing news: Landry Shamet signing a one-year deal today, actually, to return to the New York Knicks. Kind of came out of nowhere in their playoff rotation, was suddenly very important after not playing at all. So, yay, Landry Shamet, congratulations.
Thank you, New York. Thank you. We need more Landry Shamet in Madison Square Garden. All
Number
right, that's it.
44,
I'm off.
ugly number, man.
The worst number possible. Cam Thomas, we talked about him. Cam Thomas signed his $6 million qualifying offer, giving him a no trade clause and making him an unrestricted free agent in the 2026 free agency class. Damon, what did you think when you saw this?
Yeah, I thought it was weird, mostly. I think qualifying offers are pretty bad for both parties. Cam Thomas obviously doesn't get long-term security, doesn't get a ton of money this year. $6 million is not, I mean, obviously it's a lot of money for people like me and you, but for standard NBA player, the minimum's like 2 million nowadays. So
Yeah.
6 million is not a lot for a guy that led a team in scoring last year. And then for the Nets, I think it's bad because now instead of using their restricted free agency, in which Cam Thomas really had no choice but to go back to the Nets, unless they wanted to get rid of him. Now, next free agency, he's unrestricted, so he can go wherever he wants, and there's nothing they can really do about it. So they may lose him for nothing.
Yeah, I was a little confused when I read this because Cam Thomas is easily someone who could earn, I'd say at least like 15 million a year. Like why not like get a 2 year 30 million and have him as a restricted. I don't know if this seems. It feels like this is coming from the team more than Cam. I don't know,
Well, a
because
player has to elect to sign the qualifying offer.
yeah, I just feel like maybe they're like, this is all we're gonna give you, and he's like, can you not give me anything better? Like
Hmm.
this is, I don't know. It just seems so little for someone like you said to lead the team in scoring, and has been in the last few years. Like if anyone was gonna stick around, maybe to like build around, he was the one guy because McHale was just gonna be there for rent essentially. Cam Johnson was not gonna be there that super long. So I feel like Michael Porter Jr. Like I don't feel like he's gonna be on the Nets forever you know.
Right.
So I kind of felt like Cam Thomas was like the guy they might try to like build around, but now it just seems like they want to get him out the door, which is weird. Um, but we'll see what happens with that. Uh, yeah, well, someone else was signed too.
Is it my turn again? Yay, I didn't realize that you just went. Josh Giddey, also of this restricted free agency class, signed a 4-year, $100 million deal to stay with the Bulls, so 25 million a year, although it may be, escalating, so it may start off at like 23 and then go up a little bit or whatever. Um, this feels about right for me. Josh Giddey and his value. He had a really good season last year after he was traded there for Alex Caruso. He is going to be their primary ball handler pretty much all the time. His defense leaves something to be desired. His shooting leaves something to be desired. But he can run the floor and play make amongst the best of them. So I feel like it makes sense. He's still relatively young. Yeah, that's kind of how I feel about this. What do you think?
Yeah, I thought it was maybe a bit much, but I like the length. I think 4 years is good. I thought maybe like a 4 year 90 million or something like that. That's just neither here nor there. I think it's fine. The Bulls have the money. I think he's worth it. The last half after like the All-Star weekend, his stats were crazy. Like he was shooting like almost 40% from three. He was averaging almost like a triple double. That's when the Bulls were like really hot, and we picked them to win in the play-in, and they didn't. It's also when they
Yeah.
beat the Lakers, where they had like an 18-point comeback in like 2 minutes, no, like 3, 4 minutes. But still, like he that definitely helped him get this contract. So I think it's a good one. I was worried it might be like way more than it should have been, but this seems pretty about right for Josh Giddey and the year
I
he's had.
think this situation, the Cam Thomas situation, we still have Quentin Grimes, Jonathan Kuminga, a couple of free agents that still haven't signed. I feel like they have to address restricted free agency. I feel like it is not working. I think that it benefits teams more than the players because teams are basically like, we don't have to pay you. If anyone wants to pay you, then we'll just match it and or we'll sign and trade you or something like that. So we can just sit here and kind of let you dangle out while every other team then spends their money elsewhere on unrestricted free agents. And then by the time, everyone else is signed, there's no one else left to give you money. So then it's like, okay, now we can just give you whatever because no one else has that money to offer you. So I feel
Yeah.
like the process has to be changed.
Yeah, it's also weird because like let's say if I let's say I'm a GM for the Lakers and I really don't want the Bulls to like be able to I can offer them like a contract for Josh Giddey and be like, "Oh yeah, a 5 year, $200 million." And then they'll have to be like, "You're going to make me match that?" You know what I mean? Like I feel like there's can be a lot of like just animosity that can a lot of shady things that can happen because of that. I don't love it either. Um,
Yeah, I know the Pacers for DeAndre Ayton, they offered him like a huge contract, and the Suns really had no choice but to match it, otherwise they'd lose him for nothing. So
exactly.
yeah, it's a funky system.
Yeah, absolutely. Dylan Harper had surgery to repair a partially torn ligament in his left thumb that he suffered during an off-season workout. Dylan Harper is the first round pick by the Spurs this year. The hope is that he's ready for when the season starts. We'll see. Um, I don't know. Do you think they should really try to have him ready by time or just have him heal first? I don't think there's
I
really a
mean,
rush,
you
personally.
definitely want to make sure he is good, right? You
Yeah.
don't want to throw him out there and he gets re-injured and then you have a problem on your hands. So I think the priority is making sure he's healthy first, and he gets out there and he gets out there.
Yeah, absolutely. I want to do a quick update on Eurobasket. I know you added a couple things in here, but anyone interested, Eurobasket is now in the semifinals. But how did we get to the semifinals? Let's talk about it. In the group stage, Luca had a 42 points and 10 rebounds on 11 of 19 shooting, 5-11 from three against Italy, and they lost. Crazy. And then we had a quarterfinal matchup. Turkey beat Poland, which Turkey's never been like really the powerhouse that you'd expect. Like I didn't really think they'd go far in this Eurobasket, but Alper Şengün is on the team. And let me tell you, he is averaging 21.6 points, 10.9 rebounds, and 7.1 assists, which is insane. We also have a quote from a legend. Would you like to tell me the quote?
Yes, the legendary Furkan Korkmaz, also a Turkish-born basketball player, used to be on the 76ers, famously requested a trade because he didn't get enough playing time. And then they finally did trade him years later, I believe, to the Pacers, who waived him. So that was his NBA career. But he said in this quote, "Until now, I thought Joel Embiid was the best big man he's played with, but it's Alperen Şengün now." Yes,
Gotta
I
love
love to hear
that.
that.
Rockets fans love that. Yeah, no, he's been playing great. I'm really excited for some of the games. I believe they're tomorrow. Um, I will check that in a second. So Turkey beat Poland. Finland played Georgia. Finland was able to defeat Georgia. But I think the crazier part is that Finland beat Serbia to advance.
Mm.
Which Serbia has been a powerhouse for a while. And, Jokic, best player in the world, arguably, not an easy team to beat. Finland was able to outlast Serbia. And then Georgia beat France, but France does not have a lot of the people you like. They don't have Wemby. They don't have who else is really good? Who's French?
Gobert,
Gobert. Yeah, I was like, who else
Evan
can I?
Fournier.
Evan Fournier. Maybe he play. I don't even honestly.
Who knows? Who knows about Evan
Um,
Fournier?
yeah, but Georgia went further than I thought. Finland won. This is the one that broke my heart. Lithuania played Greece, and Greece beat Lithuania. They could just not stop. They couldn't stop Giannis. Valanciunas had a great game. He was like 25 points, 17 rebounds, which is not
Solid.
NBA numbers for Valanciunas, but he's been starting for them. He's been playing really well. But very proud of Lithuania. They beat the host country Latvia to advance, which is kind of crazy. And they had a lot of injury troubles. But congratulations to Greece. Not an easy team to beat, and they will be in the semifinals. And then lastly, Germany beat Slovenia to advance. So Luka kept them afloat for a while, but then the balanced attack of Germany. I mean, they are the better team. So
Germany has a lot of NBA talent guys. Maybe not like
yeah,
superstars, but they have a lot of really solid players.
absolutely. So semifinals is Germany versus Finland, and then Greece versus Turkey.
Who do you think's gonna win those matchups?
I think it's going to be Germany Greece in the
Okay.
finals, and then I'd probably give it to Germany because I like the balance, like how
Hmm.
they just play like a really good team basketball. But I could see Greece winning too. I mean, Giannis would be the king of winning things that are like the in-season tournament and Eurobasket and things that people
Alperen
really love and
Şengün gonna lead Turkey. Come
that would be
on.
awesome. Honestly, a Finland Turkey finals would be crazy. No one would have thought that. Absolutely
Yeah,
not. But of course, I'd be happy for right now. Honestly, I'd be rooting for Turkey because Alpen Şengün, Rocket.
fair.
So
Yeah, I
absolutely,
don't know if I can name a player that isn't Giannis in that Greek team. And
I couldn't
Finland's
either.
Lauri Markkanen, the
Yep,
finisher himself.
exactly. Besides that, though, yeah, it is. It's been a little interesting to see what NBA talent makes it or doesn't. But super excited for the semifinals and then the finals whenever that happens. I was trying to check it right now, but I can't get the answer. But I will definitely let everyone know what happens when that
You
does.
better know. If you
But
don't, let me know. I'll be very sad. So everyone remember the promise that you made.
yeah, this is
Um,
this is my favorite thing. Dennis Schroeder helps Germany defeat Slovenia in Eurobasket.
yes, Dennis Schroeder, let's go.
Yeah, so yeah,
Uh,
yeah, sorry.
I wanted to
Continue.
do this earlier. I wanted to shout you out as well. You mentioned your show on Tuesday. During sound check, you hopped in here to give me that record privilege for 22 man
Dude,
game. So thanks for that. That was huge.
Dude, it was so funny. I'm so sorry. So I'm on stage, like playing a song, and then I like feel like buzzing. I'm like, "What's going on?" And you're like, "Hey, yo, maybe host." I'm like, "I can't write this. I can't write this second." So like, we finish the sound check. I get off the stage. I log in. I mute, I mute my sound, mute my video. I'm just like a phantom in this Zoom. They're like, "Is Dom here or not?" He's not saying or anything. Or I make a host. I leave. I'm like, "Was that a ghost? Was the ghost of Dom in this Zoom?" No, yeah, I didn't want to. It was like really loud in there and stuff. I didn't want to interrupt. So, um, anyways, happy to help, of course, always.
That was awesome. It's time to get into the meat and potatoes, even though I'm vegetarian.
Mm. The tofu and arugula.
There you
Is
go.
a is
Um,
arugula a vegetable?
yes.
Okay, sorry.
It's like a leaf, I think.
I don't know I don't even know what it is, and I said it. I was the one that said it. I was like, "Is arugula good?" Okay, cool.
Okay, so today will be our third position ranking. We're doing small forwards today. Of course, we did centers in our first one and power forwards in our second one. And something I didn't do last time that I absolutely forgot to do that I will do this time is review last year's tier rankings, which
Yeah.
totally spaced on the power forwards from last year. And I mean, should I go back and do the power forward? No, we already did the new power
It's
forwards.
okay. I realized right after the podcast, I did have to run to something right after, so it happens to the best of us. Whoa! Is this our small forwards? Ew.
This is our small forwards
Oh
from
my god.
2024, 2025.
Oh
So
my
we're gonna recap this real
god.
quick, and then we're gonna go do ones for this year. This
Dude,
is a tough picture to look at for sure.
we need to redeem ourselves so bad right now,
So
man.
really quick for the listener, if you haven't been listening to these, when we do these, we are predicting for this upcoming season. So we are not saying that player X is the best small forward from last season going into this season. We are saying player X will be the best small forward by the end of the upcoming season. So we are projecting for them potential rises, potential regression, etc. And why don't we talk about last year's small forward rankings?
Dude, this is great. Okay, S tier. Oh my God. We have LeBron James, Jaylen Brown, Paul George. Paul George on the S tier. Sick. Sick.
Oh, that's a tough S tier. In the A tier, DeMar DeRozan, Lauri Markkanen, Jaden McDaniels, Desmond Bain, Lou Dort.
Okay. Okay. We made a category in between A and B called talented but injured. We have Jimmy Butler, Chris Middleton, Zach LaVine, Brandon Ingram, OG Anunoby, Michael Porter Jr., and Bradley Beal.
What a strange tier. What a strange tier that is.
Also, is
Don't.
OG really that injured? Was he that injured before? I don't
Yeah,
remember.
this is strange. B tier we have Franz Wagner, R.J. Barrett, Aaron Nesmith, Denny Avdia.
Sick. C tier, we have Harrison Barnes, Cam Johnson. Uh, why am I blanking on it? Derek Jones Jr. I was gonna say Derek
There you
Favors. Who the heck? What the? I know who Derek Favors is, but why is he in my mind? Max Strus, Clay Thompson, Andrew Wiggins. Um, what
Hello,
the heck is happening to my brain right? Brooks.
Dylan Brooks.
Yeah, Dylan Brooks, and then that's Amin Thompson or is it Sar?
Nope, that's a
Asar
star.
Thompson. Dang it. They're twins. It's crazy. Okay, sorry.
And then in the D tier we had Corey Kispert, Josh Green, DeAndre Hunter.
Dude.
In the F
Dude,
tier we had nobody.
this is my brain right now. I was looking at Josh Green. I was like, "Who are you?" I know him. I know it's Josh Green, but I don't know why my head is swimming right now. But yeah, what are your initial thoughts of this last year tier?
Man, this was really bad and it turned out to be incredibly inaccurate.
Yeah.
Um, so that's fun. I'm like, wow, how did all of these players up in these places?
It
So I'm
just
excited to see what we can pull off today.
Yeah, I think it just goes to show that you never really know what's going to happen this season. Anything could happen. Like, who knew Paul George was not going to play at all, basically?
Right.
Who knew that Zach LaVine was going to be a king by the end of this, and then DeMar DeRozan would have to be on the same team again. It's, a lot of other variables as well. But I'm very excited to hopefully redeem ourselves this year.
Let's redeem ourselves. I've added a couple people to the list that I found just
Okay.
in case we want to talk about players at a specific position. I have this depth chart website pulled up just because it kind of does a good job with the pictures and all of that, and I feel like
Yeah.
that makes it a little easier. And of course, I got the wheel. So let's
Awesome. I
get
love
to
it.
it.
Let's do the wheel. All right. I'm excited to see who is first. Who are we going to talk to?
Ah, yeah.
Oh, Buzz City. Buzz City. Buzz Buzz.
Yeah, we
Uh,
can get to a couple of the people that I had on the wheel early. Where
okay.
is Charlotte on my wheel? I don't even see. Oh, there it is. So I can take them off.
Yeah.
So the depth chart thing for Charlotte has Con Knippel, had a really strong summer league, drafted with the fourth overall pick. Has Josh Green as the backup. And then the other argument that you can make looking at the guard rotation here, right now they have Brandon Miller starting at the two. But off the bench, they have Dinwiddie, Colin Sexton, Trey Mann, all of which I think have some claim to like the starting guard position aside from LaMelo, and then Brandon Miller could slide over to the three. Con Knippel could come off the bench. I think Josh Green basically has no shot. I put his picture on there, but I think no shot. Grant Williams, probably no shot. I feel like the strongest argument against Con Knippel is if they were to start Trey Mann or Colin Sexton at shooting guard and then slide Brandon Miller over to the three. What do you got for
Yeah.
me?
So my initial thoughts was going to be LaMelo, Sexton, Brandon Miller, Miles Bridges, and then Moussa Diabate.
Hmm.
Um, but I like the idea of Con Knipple. That's how I'm saying it right, right?
Yeah.
I've not really said his name that often. Starting just because as a rookie and maybe throughout the year, like well, maybe they'll put Sexton in, and Lamelo's going to be out for a lot, so I think they'll get enough runs. So I'm fine with doing Con Knipple if you are.
Yeah, let's do Mr. Khan. I'm glad I didn't add
Yeah,
his picture for nothing.
yeah. So he's a 3-point specialist, rookie. Really. So we're just gonna kind of, I guess, think what his rookie season's gonna be like. I think it's gonna be solid. As long as he's able to play, he's just gonna have to shoot threes. He has LaMelo, who's one of the better assist guards in the league, so he'll be set up really well to take these shots. Hope he can work more on defense. Not that he's bad, but it's very different in the NBA. It's a lot faster. So, yeah, I'm pretty high on Conkin. I think it was a very good pick for the Charlotte Hornets. I think he'll be like a really good role player one day. Maybe he'll prove me wrong. So, I think for me right now, I put him in the D tier just because I think he's going to be a rookie, and I don't think he's going to be like rookie of the year, personally, because I think he's just going to fit into whatever system the Hornets are going to try to do, whatever it is. I feel like it's just LaMelo, here's the ball, make sure we get points. So, um, however that works, but I'd say D tier right now.
Yeah, I'm in agreement with you. I think he's going to be mostly a spot up guy. I don't think he'll have the ball in his hands a ton to create. I feel like that will be LaMelo, Sexton when he's in, Trey Mann, Dinwiddie, even Miles Bridges to an extent. A lot of guys on this team that like to have the ball in their hand and create, and I don't think he's going to be one of them. But I do think as a spacer and as a shooter, he'll be very valuable. I think he will show hopefully some promise on defense. Hornets have a lot of history with draft bust, but I don't think this will be one of them. But as a rookie, yeah, and as a rookie, basically just being a role player, I think D tier feels good.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think they did well with Brandon Miller. He had a really good end of last season. And then I think Conkin Nipple's gonna work out well. I hope this is where they start to kind of, you know, get the ball rolling, so to speak, with this team
After
because
years of mediocrity.
yeah, and playing and then not working out. So, anyways, you got the Indiana Pacers. Talk to me.
Yeah, so we're gonna have Aaron Nesmith. He's gonna be their starting small forward, I believe, this year. No real debate about that. Started pretty much all the games as small forward last year. Player that really, really surprised me over the past couple seasons after basically getting no playing time in Boston, being, I believe, pick number 14 several years ago. Just got traded for nothing, really, in the Malcolm Brogdon trade over there. And has really just shined on both ends of the floor to some extent. Defense, I think he's pretty good at, especially their backcourt. with Halliburton, and Nimhard is a good defender to his credit, but he's kind of small. So Neesmith being a bigger guy on some of those top tier players on the other end, pretty good. And then he had moments, obviously, in the Pacers finals run, making tons of threes, tons and tons of threes, which I don't think will always happen, but when he gets going, he can definitely get going. And it's kind of come to his own. That being said, as a player, I think he's probably like fine. Like he doesn't have a super high ceiling or anything like that. I was thinking C tier probably.
I was thinking B tier. I like Aaron Nesmith a lot. We'll see as it goes out, but I think he deserves the benefit of a doubt, especially after just the finals run. And now, especially, they're gonna have to rely on him more with Halliburton not being there and Miles Turner not being there. So I feel like it'll kind of be like not a sink or swim season because he's a very good player. But it'll be like, hey, are you able to do even more?
Hmm.
Or you're gonna have to just kind of stay and do what you were doing and let everyone else handle it. And I think he can do more. So I think this season, as opposed to others in the past, it will be better for him. He'll take a step forward. Again, he will be like a role. He's not gonna be a star. He's not gonna be an all star, nothing like that. But I was thinking B tier. But the great thing about this is we're in the beginning, and he'll move around, I'm sure. So you can put him in C
Yeah.
if you want, and then we can
I'll put him in B for now. I mean, I think the difference in your argument and mine is you think his ceiling may be a little higher this year, especially without Halliburton, that he may kind of be tasked more with stuff to do, and you think he can live up to that. That's a fine argument. I mean, I'm okay with that. So we'll
That's just
see.
what I believe, man. What does
I
anyone really
believe
believe?
positivity.
Hope,
Uh-huh.
hope. It's crazy. I wish I had that with
In
DeAndre
the
Ayton. Oh, sorry, that's but Philadelphia
okay,
76ers. This is impossible. What the heck am I supposed to do here?
okay, Philadelphia, we're going to talk about too.
Okay,
There's two
let's do
guys
it.
for me that came to mind. Those two guys, they have Jared McCain on this. Jared McCain's 6'3". He's not
Yeah.
the starting small forward.
Well, what did we do early? So we did Joel Embiid center.
So VJ Edgecombe is 6'5", which is still kind of small for a small forward. Kelly Oubre, I think, is probably the other argument for that starting three position. I feel like they will likely start the year with Maxey and McCain in the backcourt and Oubre at the three, and VJ coming off the bench. Maybe at some point he pushes his way into that starting lineup, but it's kind of what I'm feeling right now.
That's my exact same thought. I think it's gonna be Maxey, McCain, Oubre, Paul George, and Joel Embiid. So I think we should do Oubre.
Let's do Kelly, Tsunami Poppy,
Kelly Oubre, super handsome, good looking guy. But besides
S tier.
that, he's it's interesting. He's really been so many people have been injured on the 76ers, and Kelly Oubre is just kind of always there. He's just
Hmm.
always a part of these random lineups because he's just one of those guys. He has been one of the more interesting 3-point shooters in the league recently because sometimes he's 1 for 14 and sometimes he's like 3 for 8.
No way
Um,
he's ever taken 14 threes in a game.
I don't know. I feel like that was a thing, or maybe 1 for 14 over 3 games or something. But he's missed a lot at some point. Um, he's an okay defender. He's just getting a little bit older. Um, but I like his motor. He has a really good motor, and I think that's really important for the 76ers team, especially playing with players like Maxey and McCain who want to play faster paced. Um, that being said, I just feel like he's getting older, so I feel like he's gonna maybe dip into D tier, but maybe benefit of a doubt, I give him C tier. Um, but he really is just like a 3 and D supposedly kind of guy, but his three ball lacks and his defense can lack too. So he's like a mid three, mid D player. I don't know.
Yeah, it's interesting. I think he came into the league kind of as like a slasher, almost, but he hasn't really been given opportunities to handle the ball a ton. And I feel like early on in his career, he got some opportunity, didn't do amazing with it, and then now he's kind of fallen into this 3 and D role, as you say, later on in his career, in an attempt to kind of get his worth back and be valuable to teams. I looked it up. He has attempted 15 as his career high attempts in a game. 10 for 15 while playing, of course, on the Hornets. So that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Um, because they just let you do anything over there in Charlotte.
Hmm.
But yeah, I mean, I think back to their playoff. run. It was like one round against the Knicks a couple years ago, and he was like way more important in that series than I thought he was going to be. And then last year happened, and this was not a team that I watched a ton of past the first couple weeks because why would I? So I think C tier feels fine. I do think he is again a player that ceiling I think is basically done. Like I don't see any
Yeah.
sort of crazy growth or anything out of him, but I think he can kind of fill a role and do it to the average NBA level, which is why he's in C tier.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's a very good point. I also think like he's kind of found like a home, so to speak, with Philadelphia. So I think he's been playing differently there.
Yeah, he did kind of bounce around a bit. Remember Kelly Oubre on the Warriors?
I was just about to say, I remember Suns, Warriors, Hornets, and Sixers, I think. I don't think, or
Wizards.
Wizards.
Started his
Wizards.
career on the Wizards.
That's what it was. Crazy.
All right. Orlando Magic. Franz Wagner.
Orlando, please talk to me about him.
Yeah, this is a weird one. So Franz Wagner has been, I think, a little bit better every year in his NBA career, starting out better than I thought he was going to be, and then progressing to get even better. He has had some slumps here and there, some inconsistencies with his shooting, which has been a thing that has plagued pretty much all of the Orlando Magic for a long time. But he's been a pretty good second option to Paolo since Paolo was drafted there. And I think as a playmaker and as a defender, he's kind of developed in a nice way, kind of an underrated, both underrated aspects of his game, I think. I feel like the ceiling's pretty high. Honestly, I'm pretty high on the Magic altogether as a team, and I think Franz Wagner as well, who will probably be their second option, maybe third option, depending on where they slot Desmond Bain, feels like a really key piece to a successful long-term playoff run. I think he makes growth. I would put him above everybody on this tier list pretty easily. So whether that's the top of B tier or maybe the bottom of A tier, I'm not sure. Kind of depends on how the rest of our list looks, I think.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think I was thinking A tier because I just feel like he is on a different level than Neesmith. Like this is a guy who, I mean, I could see him being an all-star one day. You know what I mean? Like, definitely has the ability to be that good. He's been hooping in Eurobasket for Germany, and I just think like it's like a perfect storm for the Magic, and I feel like he's really going to take advantage of this opportunity that they have. So I think A tier, but probably bottom of A tier when we get to it. You know, but. I like his odds a lot for being good this year.
We shall see.
Yes, we shall. And then we're gonna look at this next year and be like, what were we thinking?
Your turn.
Oh, my Lakers. LeBron James.
Yep.
LeBron James. All right, let's put him in S tier. He's 41, 41 years old. He's going to be at the back of S tier, maybe. We'll see. But he is in the S tier. Last year, he actually played really well. His averages were really good, and his three ball is improving, which is insane because he doesn't want to like barrel the down the court anymore, which I understand. But what more is there to say about LeBron James? He's a really good player. I hope he is able to stay healthy. That's always like the biggest thing I think going into with a 41-year-old basketball player, especially one with as much responsibility as him. But we also have Luca, which I think will help a little bit. So yeah, I think S tier, but we'll see who else. I think maybe back at S tier when the time comes, but we'll see. What do you think?
Yeah, I wonder if there's a day where LeBron James isn't in the S tier. I thought about it when we said his name. I was like, does he belong up there? And then you look at his stats or something last year, and it's like 27, 6, and 5. Pretty good efficiency. Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's like,
uh,
oh, I guess he is the GOAT, I guess. So I guess he'll up
but
there.
we are projecting for this season. How much of a fall off do we expect out of this old man? Um, I guess not a lot because we haven't really seen a lot. I mean, I think every year we see a little bit more and a little bit more and a little bit more, but not anything where I think, I don't think LeBron is going to have a fall off like Carmelo Anthony did at the end of his career, where he kind of just became a role player after being like
Yeah.
the catalyst of a team for so long. I feel like he will always be in that level and then he'll be gone. And
Yeah.
that's about it.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, and I thought about A tier for like a hot second, but every year I'm like I think is LeBron James going to regress and he does by like one 2K point. So he's like instead of being like not instead of being like last year's like 94 overall, he's gonna be 93. Guess what? That's S tier to me. So
Fair enough.
tell me about the Spurs.
Spurs. So they have a couple guys on here. I think Vassell is the one that makes the most sense.
Yeah,
I think we talked about them starting Wimby, and I think we do so no, or no, we did Harrison Barnes. We did
yeah,
Sohan, or no, we did Wimby, Harrison Barnes, and then I think their backcourt will probably be Fox and Castle.
yeah,
So Vassell at the three makes sense to me. Keldon Johnson was the other guy that was on here, but I think if they don't start both of them, I don't think he will start over Vassell.
yeah,
Devin Vassell, interesting player, has been kind of whatever for a little bit of time. I feel like he kind of came in, was okay, and then like had a jump year two, and it was really exciting. And he got paid a bunch of money, and then he was injured, and now he's kind of overlooked. They got Wimby, they got the Chris Paul thing last year, they got Castle. They have so many things to talk about. Traded for Fox that I feel like people just kind of forget that Devin Vassell's on this team. And I think he's still a really solid player. I think he is important for them to their long-term success in the Wimby era. I think he is decent shooter. Both three and the mid-range are kind of in his wheelhouse. I think he kind of fits with the defensive identity, not like a superstar defender, but like a fine defender. Um, Honestly, I feel like when I'm looking at our tier here, I would put him about the same area as Neesmith. I feel like really the only difference is one of these teams has been in the finals and one of them hasn't made the playoffs. So that's why we look at Neesmith maybe in a different light. But I feel like in quality of players, they're pretty close.
interesting. Yeah, I was thinking like above Oubre and C tier, but behind Neesmith and B tier makes sense. I don't know. He just hasn't real. I think his role is going to be overshadowed so much by what Wimby and Fox and Castle are doing. Like Vassell's solid. I like him quite a bit, and what I like is that I can trust him with the ball.
Hmm.
But I just because of all these new acquisitions that they have, and they are Fox and Wimby are better players. It's just gonna be harder for him to really be able to do what he was doing like that second year when he made that big jump. When they're like, "Hey, we're the Spurs. We're gonna win maybe 20 games. Go off." But yeah, I can see B tier.
One day he will rise above the ranks, perhaps.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it'd be interesting to
we'll
see.
see where the old tier list goes. We can
Yeah,
always move it
I'm all,
around.
of course, absolutely. I think also I just like the Neesmith story. I know it's biased. I should. I love his defense. His defense is so solid.
Good
So,
luck.
who did I get? The Utah Jazz.
Hmm.
What the heck? Who am I going to talk about? This is
Please
Ace
tell me
Bailey.
about a variant Ace Bailey.
Oh my gosh. I mean, in all honesty, I don't really know a lot about Ace
I mean,
Bailey.
we can look at the
Can we look
chart,
at
but
this chart?
man,
I'm really curious.
so remember they had George Niang at the four, and we were like,
No.
no, that's not how that works. So we moved Market into the four. Cody Williams had a pretty bad rookie season. I don't think he'll start. Um, Taylor Hendricks, I think, slots in the four more. I mean, I really don't even want to talk about Kyle Anderson.
No.
So
Why the heck is Keontae George all the way at the bottom, a third? What
yeah,
the heck?
I mean, this makes not a ton of sense. I feel like but Keontae George maybe is even in the backcourt with Collier or Sensabaugh. Either of them I think makes sense. And then slide Ace over to the three. Ace is like 6'7". He's pretty tall.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, is there any I honestly haven't never watched Ace Bailey play with a basketball, if I'm being honest. So
it's fair.
I
I
could take
mean,
two.
yeah, the talent is there. I think in terms of ceiling in the draft, he was maybe next behind Cooper Flag. There's just a lot of questions about character stuff, not character stuff, but he made a big deal about not wanting to go to specific teams, things like that. I think at Rutgers they kind of underperformed. He and Dylan Harper didn't even make the whatever March Madness bracket, despite two top three picks being on their roster. So they didn't do amazing, but they had the kind of skill set, athleticism that you look at in such a young prospect, and you're like, yeah, this guy can be insane. And I don't know if Utah is the place to set him up for that. I think they have a lot of young, interesting prospects. I don't know how much he'll be given right away. Like I don't think they're just drafting him and giving him the keys right away. They still have a lot of guys over there that they're trying to develop. It's so interesting, because I feel like talent-wise, he is above Nipple, but I also don't know how much of a role he'll get right away. But I also think he's more interesting to talk about than Kyle Anderson, so I want to talk about him and not Kyle Anderson. Um,
Lomo, come on. I get it.
Maybe I'd put him like above Nipple, the D tier.
Cool. I'm all for it, man. Yeah, I'm excited to
Yeah.
watch him play NBA basketball. It's not like I purposely haven't tried to watch it. It's just I haven't the opportunity's not come.
This is a player that I think could go all over the map in their rookie year in terms of how high they could go and how low they could fall.
That's very interesting. Sometimes those are my kind of not I want to say not my favorite players, but they're like the most fascinating to watch because that's like another reason why like I mean I was super low on Grady Dick, and then he's now
Hmm.
like one of my favorite players to watch. So
Ah, yes,
crazy,
classic Grady
life's crazy like that.
Dick. Boston.
Boston Celtics. Okay, here we go. Jaylen Brown.
Yes, sir.
All right, here's the thing about Jaylen Brown. He's really good. I like him a lot. Is he better than LeBron? Do you think next year he's going to be better than LeBron? I am willing to say I'm not a Celtics fan. Look, we talked about this. I mean, I'll put Jaylen Brown above LeBron because also here's the thing about the Celtics. No Tatum. They're going to be like, Jaylen Brown, please, please help us win. Anthony Simon's going to be there like, I'm new here. It's all you. It's like, oh, shoot. Okay, so I think Jaylen Brown's going to have a really good season this year. I like Jaylen Brown a lot. He shown like he's a can score all three levels. He can defend really well. His motor is there. He plays with, just that motivation, like that grit that you really want to see in an NBA player. You want him on your team type thing. He is a franchise player. He is the Celtics franchise player. I know there's a lot of talk. Can Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum win a championship together? They did. So now I feel like they're going to be there forever. Which I kind of don't hate. I kind of like when you stick with the team. But Jaylen Brown, really good player, S tier. I say above LeBron James. Why not?
Wow.
He it's a perfect environment because there's like who else is going to take the ball from Anthony Simons? Okay, not as consistent, new team.
It's all fair. Not only did they win a championship, he was the Finals MVP, man. Which is crazy because, 9 out of 10. I was gonna say 9 out of 9. 10 out of 10 people would say that Jaylen Brown is not as good as Jason Tatum yet. He won Conference Finals and Finals MVP, so he really showed up in the playoffs. I think you make a good point about this regular season being a time where he can really shine as the guy over there on the Celtics. So projecting him for an S tier type season, I think makes a lot of sense. Who knows, man? Maybe the Celtics slip into the 3 seed somehow, and Jaylen Brown is like making a weird MVP case. Like it could happen.
I Stranger things have happened. Do you think he's above LeBron or below LeBron?
I like putting him above LeBron, expecting him to have more opportunity than he's ever had, expecting LeBron to have some amount of regression, and Luka's over there.
Yeah.
It's not like LeBron is going to have the ball all the time, right? So I think this makes sense.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure we're on the same page about that too. Cool. Yeah.
I thought it was a bold take by you, but I like it.
I mean, hey, I hope next year I look at this and go, what was I thinking putting Jalen Brown next year?
After
Um,
LeBron wins Finals MVP.
oh, that means they win. That means the Lakers win. Denver Nuggets at the three. So we talked Aaron Gordon, we talked Jokic. It's Cam Johnson. Cam Johnson, newly acquired Cam Johnson from the Nets. So we talked about him quite a bit on the pod because of the
You
trade,
say
but
to the Nets?
from the Nets.
Oh,
Apologies.
that makes
The
more
Nuggets
sense.
from the Nets. We talked about him quite a bit because of the trade, but Cam Johnson is a solid NBA player. You would say he's a 3 and D. Defense kind of lacks. His 3 point shot is pretty consistent. It's pretty like good, like average, a little bit above NBA average, I'd say. I liked the trade a lot because Michael Porter Jr. just had a lot of injury issues, and Cam Johnson didn't play a ton the last year on the Nets. But I think it's just because the Nets were the Nets. Now you're on the Nuggets. You are competing for a championship. You're playing with one of the best players in the world. I think it's a great environment for him to. I think he's been the number one option for like a year or two before the after the Mikal Bridges trade with the Nets. So, or number two option, whatever. Now he's like slotted down three or four. I mean, there's Jokic, there's Jamal Murray, there's Aaron Gordon, whom I'm sure they trust more than him. So, it's going to be a little bit of a like a step back. It'll look like it for his career. It'll kind of be like what he was on the Suns, which was a really solid role player. And I feel like he's just going to be a really solid role player again for the Nuggets. And there's a reason why I gave them like an A+ for this offseason because I love this trade for them. I think Cam Johnson is probably B tier. Where in B tier is a little bit more of a mystery to me. What do you think?
Yeah, I like all the points that you made. The three is there. The D is there sometimes. A phrase you'll hear 100 times in a podcast about small forwards. It's three and D probably. Because people love throwing that term around. So we don't know better. We're just gonna do it too. Um, yeah, I think he will just be primarily a role player on the Nuggets, but a role player that really fits a void that they needed to fill. Michael Porter Jr. did fit that void as well sometimes, but I think Michael Porter Jr. somehow, despite his giant height and wingspan, is like a traffic cone on defense. So this will be a little better. I was honestly thinking Captain Cam and Captain of the C tier, but I don't know. I don't know. I just feel like it's probably a ceiling thing for me. Like the B tier players have a little more ceiling, a little more growth. I could see. I feel like there's 0% chance on my mind that Cam Johnson has like a breakout year, whereas the guy in B tiers I could see that happening for.
Okay, yeah. I like him top of C tier for sure. Makes sense to me.
And
Good
I mean, maybe
points.
that's the optimist in me thinking that both of these guys will have some great season, but
I
I
think
don't
it's
know.
more likely. I like what you said. It's more likely Cam Johnson really doesn't need a breakout season for their teams to
Hmm.
succeed. Whereas, if Neesmith or Vassell really break out and play well, then this it seems more likely that their team will succeed. If Cam Johnson has a below average year, they could still be the second seed, So,
Right.
so that's why I think you made a good point, and I see that for Cam Johnson, the C tier.
Thank you so much.
Oh, you're very welcome. It's your turn again. It's your turn again.
It says Los Angeles Clippers. I didn't even make this wheel. I just noticed
Dude,
that the
I've never seen a more statement. Who is more lost than the Los Angeles Clippers?
That's a good
Oh,
point. Let's talk about the currently under investigation Kawhi Leonard, which we talked a little bit about last time. Um,
oh my God. That's funny.
Kawhi Leonard is a great basketball player. He has had such a fascinating career. Started off as essentially a role player on the Spurs, won a Finals MVP for his defense primarily in 2014, then kind of became a star player for that team. Had a tough injury in the playoffs, kind of had a weird outing with the Spurs, went to the Raptors, won a championship the year he was traded there, left to the Clippers, where that investigation apparently all stemmed from. And now here he is, 5 years later. They've made what, one conference finals?
Yep, and he was injured for that.
Right. So wait, did they even make the conference finals?
They did.
Because
They
they
did. They made the
okay,
Western Conference Finals, but they
because they
lost
beat the
to.
Jazz
Yeah, they beat the
and then
Jazz,
lost
and
to the
that's
Suns.
Kawhi injured literally like like one of the last plays of that game. Like he didn't even be able
Yeah,
to get him. So and
yeah,
then it
that
was
makes
just Paul
sense.
George and Reggie Jackson versus
And
the
Terrence Mann, don't forget the legendary Terrence Mann
and Amir
run.
Coffey. Come on, man.
Yeah.
I was there in
Um,
those arenas, man. I was
yeah, yeah, yeah.
there.
Sure. And then, since then, not a ton of success, probably 2 seasons worth of miscellaneous knee injuries, and then he came back last year and looked really, really good. He looked like not the old Kawhi quite, but like a dominant force on both sides of the ball. And that didn't quite last all the way into the postseason, but I think there's a shot that it lasts here. I feel like the Clippers have a slew of talent that we've talked about around Kawhi Leonard. They have one of the deepest rosters in the NFL. And I think
NBA, NBA. You said NFL.
I said NFL. I have a football game on right next to me. In the NBA. This is what having two podcasts has done to me. I keep mixing them up. In the NBA, thank you. And I feel like because of that, he can maybe actually not have to put his all into every game in the regular season. Come playoff time, he'll be good to go. I think this year he'll have a good year. I think Kawhi Leonard will be an S tier player. I might say he's the top of the S tier if he's Kawhi. Uh, but he is a little older. We'll see. Let me know what you think, Clippers hater. I'm ready to
Oh
hear
my
your
God.
judgment.
Yeah, this is tough because I'm like Jaylen Brown Celtic, top of S tier. Kawhi Leonard Clipper, back of A tier. That's where I was feeling. Oh my God. Yeah, S tier. Sure. I like Kawhi Leonard. I do, but I haven't been impressed recently. And then they have more people. Like I don't think he's gonna have to be the guy as much. Um, but you're right. It's just a lot more role players than anything. So S tier. I I don't know about above Jaylen Brown. Maybe above LeBron.
Okay,
I think
that's
Jaylen Brown's
fair.
going to be better. Can
Jalen
we?
Brown.
Dude, we're gonna
Yeah, I'm
put
fine
two
with
of my
that. I'm
least
fine with
favorite
that.
franchises at the top. Okay, let me.
And then your favorite franchise. Come on.
Yeah,
Everything has
yeah.
balance, of course.
There must be balance in the force. Yeah. Don't worry, we'll have a rocket in the S tier too, perhaps.
For yeah, Dylan Brooks isn't there anymore. What are you talking
Oh, sorry, I misread.
about?
Yeah, that's on me. That's on me. That's on me. That's on me. No, yeah, I like Kawhi Leonard. I didn't really talk about Kawhi Leonard, but I like Kawhi Leonard. I think when I go watch the games, like I mean, I watched him have a game winner last year against the Kings. That was cool. So, um,
You don't sound like it was cool. You know,
because it was against the Kings and I wanted
uh,
them to win. It was Sabonis and Valen. You know what I mean? It was,
yeah,
but it was still, cool to see. So,
it's fair.
yeah. Who's
You
next,
wanted the
man?
Lithuanian combo to win out. I guess I can't blame you for that.
Man, it is kind of crazy how I just have to root for them no matter what, just because they
Uh,
were born in Lithuania. All right, Bulls.
Chicago, we have Mr. Isaac Okoro.
You think he's starting?
I think so. I mean,
Could we look
they
at
don't have.
yeah, I'm curious to see because
You're like, wait a minute.
he's exactly there right now because there's a lot of movement.
Here's the issue. So your other
Mm,
options are Kevin Herter. I would assume he was 6'4",
mm-mm.
so I don't think he's going to be there three. Dalen Terry, Julian Phillips, neither of them have really gotten a lot of run. I don't think they continue to start Patrick Williams alongside
Mm-mm.
Booz Ellis. Um, Here, I think they have to start Isaac Okoro because their backcourt is so bad defensively that they need a
That's
defender.
that's exactly what I was about to say. I was about to say maybe Kevin Herter, but because of the Kobe White and Josh Giddey backcourt, which I like, they definitely need someone to play defense.
If they start Kevin
Uh,
Herter alongside those two, it's like okay, we're just
it's like
Vucevic as your center.
dude,
God,
Buzal's
dude.
is just like, I mean, I'm like, this is my second year, guys. Is
He's
this
like,
what
I'm
we're doing?
okay at defense, but God.
Golly. He goes, yes, it's mad. Yeah, it's in Lithuanian stuff. Anyways,
Okay, cool.
uh,
Thank you, thank you.
yeah, you're welcome. So, Isaac Okoro, really elite defense. I mean, slipped a little bit, but still very, very, very good defense. That's why he was drafted as high as he was by the Cavaliers. His three-point shot never really came. He will sink them every now and then, and it surprises the heck out of me every time. Um, but I like Isaac Okoro. I was a little confused. It was interesting that he'd been on the Cavaliers so long when they did that one-for-one trade for not Lamelo, gosh, Lonzo. It made sense because they just need more ball handling, and Isaac Okoro will not handle the ball. Good news is you have Kobe White who can handle the ball, Josh Giddey who can handle the ball. Really just need someone to back him up on defense. He does not space the floor, but good news is no one can really space the floor on the Bulls. So you don't have to worry about that, except Kobe White. Maybe. Vucevic had an underrated season, so I get that too. But Isaac Okoro fitting in with the Bulls, really is just there for the defense. And gosh, where does he fit in this godforsaken tier list? It's nice that he's still on the younger side, but like we keep mentioning about ceilings. I think he has been the best player he will be at some point already. So
Hmm.
I would probably put him in C tier. I just don't know if it's like behind Kelly Oubre. He's had more opportunity to really. No, he's got to be above Oubre, right? I'm not crazy.
Uh, if I may, when I was thinking about this, we use the phrase three and D. Some people have the three, some people have the D, some people have a little bit of both. He has one of them. He's 1.0, whereas I think you can argue everyone else on this tier list has one or 1.5 or even two. Um, yeah, I think Isaac Okoro might be my first inclusion in the F tier.
F tier,
He
interesting.
just doesn't do anything on offense, which is not good. Can't shoot, can't
Yeah.
pass, can't dribble.
Wow. Our first this is the first one that we've skipped a tier. We're like not like you're not like D tier, you're like F. Wow. Yeah, put in the F tier.
You're like
Sure.
C tier, F tier.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I get it. I get it. I do. I think it's a little bit of the like I've liked watching him play, but does that mean it's going to translate to a good year in basketball? Probably not. So I feel like you're like he's not even going to be close to being like a primary option by any means. It's definitely Kobe White, Giddey, Vucevic, Buzal. You know what I mean? Like he's last in the starting
Yeah,
lineup for sure. So I think F tier
I th
is.
I think the defense like it is really good, but like it's not Wembanyama. It's not Lou Dort. It's not even like Amon Thompson on the Rockets.
Yeah, yeah, that'd be crazy if it was. Also, yeah, and also he's not. It's not like it's not going to get the best it was in the Cavaliers was the best it will probably ever be. It's not gonna. He's not gonna have some like resurgence now. So, yeah,
Prove me
just put him.
wrong.
Prove me wrong. Prove him wrong, Isaac. Go in that C tier, man. Go in that C tier, please.
I don't like it. I'm just
Be better than
dishing the
Oubre.
opinions.
No, I mean like we should also didn't really like say this, but like this is no judgment. To be an F tier small forward in the NBA is one of the most difficult things anyone could ever do. So
It's
like
still a
it's
top
all
99%
respect.
basketball player in the world. So
Exactly. Like this is there's so much respect here for them, but it's just compared to everyone else, this is what that tier list is. Not of everyone in the world, because obviously they'd all be like elite.
all
Sacramento
right.
Kings. Talk to me.
I got the Kings. I got to talk about DeMar DeRozan. Um, what a weird player this has been over the past several seasons. Just captain of mediocrity, it feels like, in not because he's mediocre, but man, he's been the best player on an otherwise relatively subpar team for a while. It was the Bulls, and then it was the Kings. And I really don't like this Kings team. I know you don't like this Kings team. It's just a mosh podge of random NBA talent. DeRozan, of course, mid-range killer. Not a three-point shooter, but he will make game winners every now and then. Um, he's old, man. He's about to be like 35. He's up there, which is kind of crazy. And his defense is not great. His defense has never really been great. I think we're gonna have a regression year for DeMar DeRozan, which saddens me because I do like DeRozan a lot as a player. I think he brings a skill set. It's just a skill set that's high floor, low ceiling, maybe, is kind of a good way to describe it. Which is why he has never really been on a team that has had great team success, except for the Raptors, but they always kind of fell short in the playoffs. So I would say, looking at this tier list, I mean, like player for player wise, not talking about role on a team and kind of what you're contributing to winning, because I think those are two different things from your skill set. Like, I think Aaron Nesmith probably contributes more to the Pacers' success than DeRozan will to the Kings' lack of success. But I think obviously that DeRozan's a better player. So I would say that he probably falls either at like the top of B tier or the bottom of A tier. And ultimately will just be on a bad team.
Yeah. I like what you said a lot of the high floor, low ceiling, because I think that's like a perfect word for DeMar DeRozan. I really like him as a player. I like him as a person. I've read his book, and he had a lot of like interesting things to say about life in the NBA and whatnot. And I respect the heck out of him. And that being said, to me, he's the king of B tier because I do think this is the year it just kind of starts to fall short. And now it's Zach LaVine's there again. Like it's and
Oh
there's no
god,
spacing. Like
what a
what
snooze
is
fest in
I
Sacramento.
hate this because we're so stoked on them for so long. Like they really fumbled it, man. God, they fumbled it. And seeing DeMar in the B tier is making me sad. Should we put him at the back of A tier? God, it's killing me. God,
I
I
don't
don't
know,
know.
man. We'll
We'll
adjust as
see.
time goes on.
We'll adjust as we see, man. But phew, it is a rough one in Sacramento,
Oh,
man.
it hurts. It hurts my soul.
I hope they're like the one seed, but they're not gonna be, man.
That would
Uh,
make the craziest one
I
seed of all
know.
time.
All right, New York Knicks.
Okay, so
Nice.
so the Knicks had Mikal Bridges on here. I put Anunoby on here because OG is a little taller,
Yeah, and isn't
which
Mikhail the two?
right. That was what I thought. So
Yeah, so yeah, it's OG. It's OG Anunoby.
let's
And
talk
what
about
is
Agugwa.
one of my favorite players to watch in the league right now? His play with the Knicks has just been sensational. It's been one of the brightest points of this team. I honestly, I mean, Josh Hart is the heart and soul of the Knicks. Because that he just plays all the minutes, all 48 minutes. But OG Anunoby is a close second, I feel like, to that because he does not give up. He's making threes when he shouldn't be making threes. He's blocking shots when he has no business being like where he needs to be. He is an incredible defensive player. He has really added a lot to his offensive game since coming to the Knicks, even though they didn't need him to be. They have Brunson, they have Cat now. Like you can just focus on defense, but he's been able to do a lot for this team, and I think it's going to be a really important part of their success this season and how far they go. I'm not afraid to put him like A tier above Franz Wagner.
That's
I just love
exactly the spot I was thinking.
I love his defense so much.
Yeah, he's awesome. He's been awesome since being a Knick. I think when they traded for him, it was like, yeah, we see the potential, and he was just like, yep, I'm there. And it's been such a crucial part for this team. I love that you mentioned the offensive jump that he has had since being there. There have been times when Brunson or Cat not on the court, or they're out, or something like that, and he's just taking over games. Especially when there are attractive women courtside, that's when he really likes to shine. So. Way to go, OG, on that. And yeah, his defense is just like it, you forget about it, and then out of nowhere he makes like this insane defensive play, and you're like, I forgot he could do that. Yeah. Because a lot of his defense, I think, is kind of like preventative, like denying the pass or just playing defense, standing in front of his defend or his opposing player long enough that they just pass the ball away. Like he's not on ball defending a lot because people are like, please don't let this guy defend me because he's so good. And then he, makes a crazy play, and it's like that's why I realize now. Yeah, he's awesome. He's paid a lot of money for it too, and another big part of the Knicks, I think. I project this team to be nothing short of a conference finalist, and I think he'll be a crucial key in that.
Absolutely. Yeah, dude. I mean, Knicks basketball. I mean, okay, also like even though Tom Thibodeau isn't going to be there anymore, I mean, what a great replacement with Mike Brown. I mean, I'm so stoked for this team. Happy
Uh,
for them. They deserve, honestly,
uh,
they've been through it, man.
I'm happy for Mike Brown, man. After letting go in
Everything.
Sacramento and looking at that team, I'm like, thank
Dude,
goodness. Like,
dude, I mean, the ultimate, like, yeah, see what you did there is them winning the championship. He's like, yeah, maybe, I mean, the team is very different, but maybe that could be part of it. All right, Golden State, tell me about your second favorite team.
oh, I don't know about that. I will
That's
tell you
ironic.
about
That's ironic.
one Mr. Where is he at? I can't even find him. Jimmy Butler.
He doesn't have the
That's
emo hair, so it's hard to find
Yeah, I
him.
made it difficult to find. Jimmy Butler, such a fascinating player. Another one of those guys that I barely see him and I forget, and then he plays one game of playoff basketball, and I'm like, oh my God, this guy's a top 10 player of all time. What the heck? Not really, but that's the, kind of hyperbole exaggeration that I have when I watch because I'm like, I understand now why people are kind of like afraid of him, I guess, in the playoffs, why the Warriors wanted to trade for him. Just brings so much to the table, so much that you will not find in the stat sheet, brings kind of an attitude, a grit. really high basketball IQ. I really don't like the foul baiting aspect of basketball. He's one of the best at it, and it brings his teams a lot of success. So, you know, I can't say that he's wrong for doing that, even if I don't like the way it looks when I'm watching. But yeah, he is also up there. He's like 36 now. Like he's pretty old. But luckily, I think his particular skill set is not super reliant on like athleticism and explosion. It's a lot of smart, concise plays. He's going to be a good defender. He's going to be a good mid-range shooter. His three-point shot has certainly fallen off in recent years, but yes,
He turns 36 in 3 days on September 14th.
boom. Um,
Nice.
that's pretty good. I'm okay with that. I think there will be some amount of regression, but not enough. And I think come playoff time, should the Warriors make it, who knows? They have 12 players on their roster. I think that he will be a key factor in their first round matchup to see if they go further. Looking at our tier list here, I definitely think he's at this point in their respective careers. I think he is better than DeMar DeRozan. Maybe he's still better than Franz Wagner. I probably wouldn't put him above OG.
Yeah, I was thinking A tier behind Franz just because of injury concerns.
Hmm.
But I mean, I could definitely see a season where it's better. Is this going to be the who's it, Franz or Jimmy? Like, is this going to be our Austin
No, I'm
Reeves and
not that
Tyler?
passionate about either. Because it's one spot difference. I feel like when we had our arguments in years past,
Yeah.
it was like, there's no way you think this player is like 2 tiers above where I think they are. That's insane.
No, that's great. I think we've also gotten better. Like, we've also watched more basketball now, where I don't think that really we're not going to get that.
Yeah, we're not
Like,
having
we're
these
not gonna those
absurd
crazy
takes.
takes. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like what you said about Jimmy Butler. Every year I just think I'm like last year I was like, this is the year you just kind of like fall off, and then you watch him in the playoffs. You're like, God, this guy, God, like I wish he was on my team, type thing. You know what I mean? Like he's worth that whatever package it was, and I mean I don't think the Warriors really give up too much really for him. Like in retrospect. So. Uh, I'm interested to see how far this team can go. They are about the average age of like 55, so we'll see what they could do.
Yeah, I'm a little excited about really just Jimmy Butler and Steph because those are two veteran players that I
Yeah,
do respect and like, but I just really don't like the franchise.
yeah. I'm right there with you, man. You don't have to tell me. Toronto Raptors. Ooh wee. So who did we have Jakob Poeltl, we had Scotty Barnes, and you have Brendan Ingram as the
Yes,
three.
sir.
Um, so Greedy Dick's off the bench, huh?
Yep.
All
Yeah.
right. Okay.
So I'm
He's coming for
sorry.
that starting spot. He's coming for the starting spot. Brandon Ingram has been I mean, he really is like a microwave. He's a scorer when he's healthy. He can really score the ball in the mid range really well. He has been able to shoot the three. I'd say his average is probably like right below league average usually. Um, he hasn't played basketball. I mean, he played for the Raptors barely, but
No, I don't
it's
think he's suited up for the Raptors.
he didn't, right? Okay, that's why I thought he didn't. Okay, that's good to know that I'm not that crazy. But yeah, he's been out. This is gonna be his really like first season with this team. He's
Hmm.
gonna have to kind of like they're all lanky
It's
wings that can kind of shoot the mid range.
the Raptor
Uh,
way.
yeah, he does not play defense. He tries maybe. Um, but he is a really good scorer and he's an offensive machine when he's locked in. I've watched a lot of Brandon Ingram live when he was on the Pelicans. Um, and God, like where he fits on here is interesting because he's probably gonna be. I mean, you got RJ Barrett to think about. You got Emmanuel quickly, and you got him. They're like those are the top three scorers. Scotty
Yeah,
Barnes.
well,
Oh my
I was
God.
like, what about Scotty Barnes?
Scotty Barnes. Yeah, so he's like, what is he like the third option
I,
now?
I would say Scotty's probably in front of him. He might be two though. I don't know if Emmanuel Quickley and RJ Barrett have enough like weight to their names to demand the
Yeah.
ball over Brandon Ingram.
Yeah, I like RJ as a second. I definitely think Emmanuel Quickly's like four, even though I like him. But
Used to be your guy.
He still is, but I mean, you get Brandon Ingram for some reason. It's like I don't
And
know,
then they
make.
paid him $175 million, and he's barely played since then. But
I know. Hey, give me an Emmanuel Quickly jersey. Stat. Give me an IQ 5. No. Yeah. So Brandon Ingram is just gonna be, he's expected to score, play offense, not really play defense. That's what other players are there for. Um, that being said, he's this is tough because I'm looking at like B tier, and there's two players who are like younger and kind of have a specialty. That's their ceiling. We have DeMar DeRozan who's aging. It's like Brandon Ingram's not that old yet, so I can't really lump those two together. But I mean, maybe he's top of B tier.
yeah, I mean that's kind of where I was thinking. They're similar players, Ingram and DeRozan, I think, in
Yeah,
terms of their offensive games and lack thereof defense. I was honestly kind of looking at this, and it did make me want to maybe drop Vassell and Neesmith and kind of clear out some room in that B tier because I feel like these guys are just like are guys in terms of their offensive roles, and I feel like those guys are not. They're more
yeah,
role player esque, and that's kind of where you see the C tier players finding out.
yeah. I think that makes total sense. So are you thinking we got Nice for top of C and then Brandon Ingram top of B? Yeah, no, I think this looks good.
B for Brandon. We
B
always end
for
up with
Barrosen. Sorry.
like almost like talent and role is kind of the combination that we always end up. It's just weird to be like, yeah, a Neesmith, really good role player. DeRozan, same tier. It's strange. It's
That's
strange
exactly
to
what I was
like.
saying. Like it didn't look right, and I feel like the more we flesh it out, like there's so many players we still haven't put. Like it's gonna fill out pretty
Mhm.
evenly. I think. We'll see if
I
anyone
know.
joins Goro in the F tier, which is messed up.
Well, I don't know. Maybe we'll
Yeah,
have to promote him. I'm feeling kind of bad.
yeah.
I'm feeling a
Well,
little lonely down there.
didn't really say anything about Bi. Anything to add? I mean,
Oh
he's just a
yeah, I
scorer.
didn't talk about him at all. Yeah, he's a scorer. I really hope he's healthy. That's like the key thing. Of course, he's been pretty injured these last couple of years. That old Pelicans curse, where their entire team gets
Yeah.
injured. So now that he's not there, maybe he will stay healthy. You know what number he's wearing for the Raptors?
I hope it's 14.
It sure isn't. It sure
What is
is
is it
not
like? Is it
14.
like fours? No, it can't be
You're
four. It's like two.
you're so
Is it
close.
one?
It's three.
Three's not. Oh, Ananobi was three. I was like, I
Yeah,
thought like three was taken, but yeah. Three's not bad. 14's better.
yeah.
What
I'm
was he
so
on the
used to it.
Lakers? Was he 14 on the Lakers?
He was 14 on the Lakers. Yeah.
Yeah. So is someone 14? Who's 14 on the Raptors?
And he was 14 on
On the
UNC at
Pelicans?
two, I think. No, he might have been like number two on like UNC. I feel like I remember watching him in college.
Okay,
Maybe he was
gotcha.
14. I don't know.
Yeah, but who's number 14? Jacoby Walter? Oh,
Ah,
geez.
of
Ah,
course.
how could I forget?
Naturally.
Oh my God. Okay. I guess
I'm
that's a
really
look at.
happy to talk to you about Dylan Brooks, the
I know
starting the
you are.
small forward for
This is this is what you deserve, man. This is
Um,
your what you have. Since you got rid of him, you got to talk about him.
yeah, I mean, I've made many Dylan Brooks takes on this podcast. If you are a long-term listener, you probably know how I feel about him. I think as a player, he is pretty good defensively. A lot of heart, a lot of hustle. Those are things you love to see on the NBA floor. I think the offense has been up and down throughout his career. Sometimes he's on fire and just an absolute stud of a shooter. Sometimes he is like, please stop shooting the ball so we don't lose this game. And sometimes he's somewhere in between. Aside from that, his offensive creation isn't anything crazy. I think he does try to do too much with the ball at times, often leading to turnovers or something like that. And then there is the personality stuff that I think kind of gets in the way of everything, where he feels like he has to play the role of a villain and he has to get technicals and he has to get ejected and he has to do all this kind of extra stuff. Similar of like the Pat Beverly ilk, the Draymond ilk, things that I just don't like NBA players doing as kind of part of their value to a team. So that all being said, I do think on this Suns team, which is ultimately going to be pretty lackluster, that he will have a valuable role as their kind of primary defender. I imagine their backcourt will be Devin Booker, Jalen Green. So they really will need his defense on that end of the floor to have success there, I think. Okay, I just closed the tier list on accident. That was a mistake. Not only was it a mistake, I think I will have to redo the entire thing. So I'm really looking
Oh,
forward to that.
did not save. Ah, interesting. Ah.
I
Eh,
was trying to close the stream on my other stream because it like paused and stopped working, and I was like, I don't need to watch that anyways. Um, so now I'm gonna open this back up. Give me a moment. Why don't you tell me about Dylan Brooks? I was thinking like C
Yeah.
tier.
Yeah, I'll talk about Dylan Brooks a little bit. So yeah, like you said, like we've watched quite a bit of Dylan Brooks these last 2 years because of his involvement on the Rockets and his signed his 4 year, $80 million contract that he's still a part of. I mean, when
He
he
did
was a part of
save.
that,
That's
beautiful.
nice.
That's awesome. When that trade did happen, it's not perfect for the Suns, but I think, the package was you are getting a really good now you're getting a great defender, honestly. I mean, like besides that was like Royce O'Neal. It's like you can't really trust him. Um, Not like you can Dylan Brooks, I guess. Um, but yeah, I was thinking C tier. It's interesting because I feel like he could go in front of Oubre. I just don't think like Cam Johnson's probably just his the outlook of the Nuggets is so much more positive than the Suns. So
For
like
sure.
I feel like that's going to factor into the play. Um,
hmm
but Dylan Brooks is probably what your third option. So maybe
hmm
he's a little bit higher than Cam Johnson, but he is an elite defender. Uh, that is Dylan Brooks. Not sorry, not elite. I apologize. He is the Suns defender. So
Yeah,
uh,
I mean his defense is good. Like the personality gets in the way, but
it really
he is a good
does.
defender.
Yeah.
Like that. I don't think you can negotiate that. I think I would put him below Cam Johnson though. Yeah, I think this is kind of a fine placement for him.
Yeah, I think it's more than he deserves for his antics on the court. But hey, you know what? Enjoy C tier, man.
I have to go through and now take off all of the teams on the wheel. I forgot I closed the wheel as well, so
Hey, it's okay.
that's
So yeah,
fun. Yeah, why don't you
we
entertain a little bit while I do this?
well, I'll just
You
pick
got
one we
this.
haven't talked about. How about just that, and I just talk about someone. How
That's fair.
about yeah? How about I just talk about who do we got on the Thunder? Who's the three for the Thunder?
That's gonna be J Dub.
Let me talk about J-Dub a little bit. So Jalen Williams, man, what an incredible career he's had so far. I think when you think of the Thunder, you think of Shea Gilgeous-Alexander. But after that, it's probably Jalen Williams. Chet Holmgren has a case to be made, but I don't think he's really made it. That he has not had an All-Star appearance yet, and Jalen Williams has. So I think that is something that needs to, be respected. Um, he incredible offensive player. If he wasn't behind Shea, he'd be the number one option on this team. Um, I think he's a little underrated on defense. He plays quite well. He's not really just going to stand there and let you go around, but for what he's a better defender than Shea is. Actually, I'm so sorry I said that. No, Shea like has so many steals. That's incredible.
Yeah, I mean, being a good defender and leading the league in steals before Dyson Daniels, of course.
Yeah,
Um, I think are two different things. Like I feel like Shea's gonna be getting in the passing lanes, but in terms of like on ball defense, I
yeah,
definitely
it's
don't think that's like a crazy statement to make. I think they both
yeah.
made all defense last year.
That would be
Or
crazy.
maybe it was Lou
Chet and
Dort. I think it was Lou Dort and J Dub made all defense.
that sounds about right. Yeah, but I think it's a little underrated. Like, it's not really talked about as much, between NBA fans. You really just see his like flashiness on offense and his ability to create with the ball and to be also like really good off ball. So he's able to be where he needs to be when he gets the ball and then just make the shot. Jalen Williams is an excellent NBA player. I think he's just getting better. And I mean, after just winning an NBA Finals too, you don't start regressing. You just get better because you want it again and you want more. So, um, Scott, is he top at A tier?
Yeah, I think he's gonna be pretty high. I mean, 40 point game in the finals. He was making a little push for finals MVP, then I was like, no, Shea's really awesome. Yeah, defense I do think weirdly is underrated despite making an all defense team. I feel like Chet gets a lot of attention for the rim protection. Shea gets a lot of attention, like you mentioned, for the being in the passing lanes and the steals. Of course, Lou Dort, the torture chamber, as they call him, right? Even Caruso off the bench. Like they just have a lot of stud defenders on that team, so it's easy to forget how good his defense can be. And then as an offensive player, a lot of growth early on in his career. I mean, he quickly became the number two option of a team that just won the finals. So I don't think it's crazy even to suggest an S tier placement. I don't know if I'd go quite that far, but when I think of the last two championship runs, and I think of Shea and J-Dub, and I think of Tatum and Brown, how far off do I think J-Dub is from Jaylen Brown? Not that far. I do think Jaylen Brown will have a lot more opportunity, like we have continually talked about throughout this episode. But just in terms of player, I feel like he will be pretty high. I really, really do like OG though. That's like the player that's really throwing this
Yeah.
in the loop for me. But I don't know if OG could have done what J-Dub did to help the Thunder win a championship.
See, I agree with you there. The one thing that also, when I think about S tier, I think about legacy. Like these are guys that have a legacy that
Yeah, for
follow
sure, for sure.
them, you know? So like I'm like J-Dub's so young in my head. I it could definitely happen. But it's from in my head, it's just so hard for me to think, yeah, he's LeBron James legacy tier. It's
Right,
like unfathomable right now.
for
Um,
sure.
but it could
Where-
happen. We're
Okay,
projecting, right?
do you think
You know,
he's ahead or behind of OG?
I think he's ahead of OG.
Yeah, I would say that too.
But like, if we want to,
That feels good.
yeah, okay, okay. Like, I don't hate S tier behind all of my guests, but I feel like S tier, you really got to be like
A lot of old guys up there right now. I mean,
that's what
Jalen
I'm.
Brown's not that old, but
No, yeah. I just again, just I feel like it's like the legacy.
yeah.
That's
No,
that
I get
makes
it.
any sense. Yeah, we'll revisit it. We'll see. But yeah, I mean his future is very bright, and yeah, it's tough.
The Thunder will be scary for years to come.
They sure will, man. And great job cleaning up the wheel. I hope I was able to talk enough to
Yeah, I was just
distract.
looking and I was like, have we talked about a player here? Trailblazers, I believe their starting small forward is going to be none other than Denny Avdia. I feel like he was maybe their best player last year, kind of under the radar, super consistent. Um, Developed as an offensive player, I think. Kind of a underrated part of his game is playmaking that I feel like maybe I have talked about a couple times. So now people that listen to this are like, it's not underrated. I've heard you talk about it six times. But I feel like in mainstream media, you don't hear a ton about it. Defense has been pretty good for most of his career as well. I think the shot is coming along, looks a lot better than it did when he first got into the leagues. Still not quite where you would want for like a consistent, like, he's no Cam Johnson, right, when he shoots the ball, but I think he is a lot more respectable than he used to be for sure. Looking at our tier list here, this one's tough. Something I've also been doing, and I haven't been mentioning this, but something I do in my head when I'm thinking about players comparably is if this player were in this player's shoes, would he be better or worse? So, for example, I'm
Mm.
looking at Aaron Nesmith, top of C tier. I'm like, could Deni Avdija have had as good of a playoff run with the Pacers as Aaron Nesmith just had? And will he be as good next season as Aaron Nesmith is, or better, or worse? And that's a tough question for me to ask. I really like Denny Avdia. I think the Trailblazer ceiling and future is bright because he is one of those core pieces. But I can't really place where he belongs. I think it's somewhere in the C tier, though.
I mean, is it crazy? I was thinking B tier.
You think he's already there? You think he's gonna have a jump?
Dude, the end of last season was it was incredible to watch. I mean, he was flirting with triple doubles, you know what I mean? And I feel like, a lot of these guys in the C tier, to me, they're like great role players, and that is what they are. I feel like Danny Avdia has a chance to maybe break into an all-star maybe one day. Is it next year? Probably not. But I feel like he's definitely flirting with it. And you know, I love being optimist, being a little so like, and maybe it's a little Blazers bias from watching him, but like top of C tier or back of B, I just feel like he's a different level than people on C, and I feel like he fits in with the B tier more. everyone else
Okay.
there. Um, but open, I'm open to,
No,
movement,
I
of
like it,
course.
man. I like the positivity.
Yeah, I just think,
I
and
mean that
he also played really well for Eurobasket, which I mean,
Neesmith was that
it's
kind of
Israel.
pivot point for me, so
Yeah, Neesmith. I feel like there's a couple of those, like OG and Neesmith. Those are like staples where they are, at least
yeah.
to me. I got Cleveland.
You got Cleveland.
This is for you. Hey, Cleveland, this is for you. Who do we got? DeAndre Hunter. Definitely not D tier. I'll tell you that much. D tier was crazy. I mean, I get why we did last year. He didn't really give us good reasons, but after this last year, especially going to the Cavaliers,
I was
I
gonna
mean,
say this is before Cavs DeAndre Hunter.
yeah, I really like what he brought to this Cavaliers team once he got traded there. You heard it once, you're gonna hear it again. 3 and D.
Oh
His
no.
three ball has been going down really well. His defense has also been very good.
I
Not
thought you were gonna say
elite,
D
not
ball.
great. Do you want me to?
His three ball and then his D ball.
His D ball be good, good. Um, no, I DeAndre Hunter's defense is not elite, I would say, but it's still very, very good, and he fits in really with those Cavaliers, especially with you got Garland and Donovan Mitchell as your backcourt. You really need that defender to be there, and I trust him way more than Okoro was shooting the three ball. That's for dang sure. Um, to me, DeAndre Hunter is like the pinnacle of C tier. Like
Mhm.
he is exactly who he's going to be. And I feel like this environment with the Cavaliers, kind of wanting a championship, maybe going for it. The East is it's up for anyone really. You know what I mean? Feel like this is a good chance. And that being said, like he is the last option on the starting lineup, but he doesn't need to be to have a really good season. And I definitely see him in C tier, but I'm curious where you see him.
Yeah, worth noting this probably would have been Max Strus, but he had that injury. He's going to be out for first couple months of the season. DeAndre Hunter, 3 and D, oh my God. Had a lot of offense off the bench for the Hawks before he got traded. Kind of surprisingly, because I feel like he came into the league with more of the defensive reputation. And then here he is doing the other part. And I think it will be an important role for the Cavs. That three position has been the question mark with their current era with Donovan Mitchell. That's been kind of the only one that's like, I don't know, you need a player here. And they've never really been able to find the right guy. Maybe he can be that for them this season. I think DeAndre Hunter, I do think he'll have a good season because I think the Cavs will ultimately have a good regular season, especially, and then hopefully a better playoff run than years past. I think I would put him right behind Cam Johnson. I think Cam Johnson probably still edges him out a little bit in my book.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely. I think
Yes.
that makes a lot of sense. Can't trust DeAndre Hunter too much because his history has shown. I get that. Makes sense.
Yes.
Let's
Yes.
talk about another 3 and D player.
Oh no.
Who will it be this time?
Oh, this is not even quite 3 and D. This is
Yeah.
interesting to say the least. Funny enough, I know this depth chart, I pulled it back up. It's really funny. They have Norman Powell as the three and Andrew Wiggins as the two, which
What?
makes no sense. It's obviously
What
the other
the?
way around.
Yeah, absolutely. That's crazy.
So let's talk about Wiggy.
Tell me.
It's you, isn't it? No,
No,
it's
I
me.
just did DeAndre
Andrew
Hunter.
Wiggins. This guy almost won Finals MVP in 2022, huh? That was crazy. All-star starter on the Warriors. That was a crazy, crazy year. Anyways, Andrew Wiggins kind of had a renaissance, I would say, in this latter half of his career. Number one overall pick in the Wolves. Could always score, but not really in like a winning way. It was like a I'm hogging the ball, not super efficient way. Um, was almost not a bust, but like kind of a disappointment. And then he went to the Warriors in the D'Angelo Russell trade and filled a very good role there. Kind of became a really good defender out of nowhere, which he hadn't been for a majority of his career in Minnesota, and added kind of a almost like a release valve element to the Warriors offense where we're not getting our system stuff working, hold it over to Wiggins. He's backing down a guy that's probably a little smaller than him, get a nice mid-range jumper off, and looked really, really good. Now, this has been a few years since that. I don't think he's quite that player anymore, but I do think he's still a good, solid NBA player. Like he is going to get the job done. That is what he will do. It will not be spectacular, but it will be the right way most of the time. I think going into this funky Miami season last year was also funky. He just got traded there at the deadline, I think, right, for
Hmm.
Jimmy Butler. And you have Bam, you have Tyler Hero, who is an all-star, but he kind of falls as the third option, maybe sometimes the second option, depending on how they want to run their offense. And I think he'll be important in kind of establishing an identity for this team that right now seems to not really have one after Jimmy Butler departed. I feel like he belongs in the B tier when I'm looking at our tier list here. Just feels like a nice solid place for him. I'm not sure exactly where in the B tier, but that does feel like the letter that's calling my name.
Yeah, I was thinking B tier too. I think B tier behind it's either behind Demar or above Demar.
The Mars
I
that
just
pivot point for you.
yeah, I it's interesting to say. I feel like DeMar DeRozan's been more consistent to me.
Hmm.
Um, but Andrew
I mean,
Wiggins
you know what
has
you're gonna get from him.
yeah, but he has more of a is a bigger like chance in Miami to kind of like just show off what he can do and maybe go to that next location because I feel like he's not going to stay in Miami like
Hmm.
super long. Um, so you might want to show out. I don't know. Uh, maybe behind Demar.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. Man, Denny's really up there, huh? I don't know.
You wanted him up there, man.
Yeah, we're gonna look at that in a little bit. I'm gonna let it sit with me for a bit. Oh, oh man, B for Benny.
Of, of course, Benny Avdia,
Oh my gosh, the
naturally.
Wizards. Oh my God, it's so sick. Who am I guys
Talk
talking
about
about?
talk about cash money. Chris Middleton, of course.
Oh my God.
Come
Okay, first of
on.
all, come on. First of all, Chris Middleton, legend, cash money, Bucks champion. Um, has I feel like he's gotten four new knees in the last 3 years.
It was
Um,
feet, I think. I think he had
he's
like
gotten four new feet.
he had two broken feet or something last offseason. It was
It's
crazy.
just knees is funnier to me, but feet makes just replacing people's feet is also very funny.
Yeah.
Chris Middleton, the biggest. Okay, so historically, he's been very dependable. He has been clutch, really great in the mid range. Can make threes when you need him to. Has been a bit slow on defense, but still a really good defender when healthy. This is all when healthy. That's the thing, when healthy. So what am I projecting next year? Definitely a regression. It's unfortunate. He's on the Wizards too. Doesn't help. I feel like that like ages you by like 10 years just by being on the Wizards. You walk in that practice, you're like, oh, I thought I was like 35. I guess I'm
Hmm.
45 now. Um, that being said, like I feel like he's one of the more consistent and dependable guys when healthy. So it
Hmm.
makes it really tough for me to really find out a place because, like, I mean, he honestly belongs in like B tier. And when he's at his best, he's up there with like behind A. Like that run for the Bucks in the championship was crazy, but again, that was 3 years ago. Um, so I feel like I like to be I'm being optimistic. Chris Middleton can be so good. So I've like back a B tier. I mean, but maybe more realistically, he's like C tier somewhere because it's gonna fall off.
I love him, man. Love him and his weird head. Um, he's a great shot maker. He is a good locker room guy, good culture guy. I think a guy that nobody would be like, "Oh man, we have that guy." I think everyone would be like, "Oh yeah, we have that guy." And that's a player you want to play with. I think the talent's there. Yes, he's old, but I do think he'll hang on a little bit until the end here. I'm putting him in B tier. I won't let you put Chris Middleton in C tier. I won't let it happen.
Cool.
I'd probably put him above Denny.
That's, I mean, I mean, if I was gonna say it would be, I would definitely put him above Denny. Hey, why don't we put Denny in the C tier, man?
It didn't last
Cine,
that long.
Cine
There,
Avdia.
there you
Um,
go.
is Oubre D tier, or are we just gonna have this impregnation in the C tier?
Oh my God, that's a crazy
That's a
term
what?
to
That's
use.
a wait. That's a word. That's a word. If it's like It's if it's
Yeah,
pregnant,
it's just funny that you said
but
it like that.
impregnation's probably not a word. That's probably the word, the bad thing to say. It's like a very
Um,
definite
I mean,
look.
let's think about it. Let's think about it.
Yeah,
I'm
okay,
I'm
okay,
not
okay.
as finicky on having all the even tiers like I used to in my old days.
I know those were the days, man. Those were the days.
I'm excited.
Tell me about Dallas.
Cooper Flag, number one pick, baby. He's coming in and starting, and he is super hyped. Obviously, there's Wemby, there's Zion, there's AD, there's LeBron, there's Cooper Flag. Those are like the top five number one hype picks, I think, in my lifetime that I can remember. In terms of like people being like, "Oh, look out for this guy coming to the league." It feels like I've known about him coming to the league since he was 16, maybe 15, and I've seen it. I've seen it at Duke. I saw it at the USA men's camp that they did when they were playing against the Olympic team last year. He looked real good in the little bit of summer league action that he got. I just feel like he's going to come in and be a dude like right away. Like I feel like he is going to be quite a good NBA player. Dallas roster is very strange with Anthony Davis, of course, going to be the primary option. No Kyrie for probably at least half the season. So he may be the two option right away behind AD. It's like maybe D'Lo's ahead of him, but I feel like three is the as far as he could fall. It's really large. It's like 6'9", I think, 6'10". Has a really like built frame, can dribble, can penetrate, can shoot, can defend. He can kind of just do it all right off the jump. I'm gonna make a crazy take here. Cooper Flag, rookie season, top of B tier.
Top of B tier. Uh, do it. Booper flag. Welcome to B tier. No,
Booper, not Booper.
I'm just changing the first letters, man.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
E for Cooper. No.
I don't know.
Uh,
More realistically, maybe like in between DeRozan and Wiggins. I don't know.
no, I like the idea that, this is the rookie season, number one overall pick, and really, if Kyrie was there, it'd be a different story. But yeah, when you're gonna be like probably also one of the more primary ball handlers on your team,
Hmm.
like, the opportunity is there to be a scoring machine and really show people what you could do on defense and really give Dallas a reason to be happy again because they don't have a lot of reasons right now, I'll tell you that much. Um, so yeah, why not? I have not watched a lot of Cooper Flag. The only really stuff I've seen was from that USA camp when they played the
Hmm.
Olympian, and he looked like he belonged playing with those guys. So, um, he looked like he was belonging to be playing with like Austin Reeves, Anthony Edwards, and company like that. So, top of B tier. Well, welcome Cooper Flag.
Welcome to the league.
Can't wait for us to look at our tier list next year and be like, we put him in B. He should have been S. What are we talking about?
He
What
should
the
have
heck?
been S. I mean, hey.
His legacy is crazy.
This
Uh,
legacy is funny. All right.
oh, the Grizz. Oh my gosh, who is their starting three? It's
Jalen
KCP.
Wells.
Oh, it's better. Jalen Wells. Has been pretty impressive so far. I think is kind of been like a sneaky good rookie last year. Um, and I'm glad that he's getting this like opportunity to start with them, especially with Desmond Bain not being there. Um, he's young. Is he's good on defense. He's fine offensively. Um, and he's just gonna get better. This is where I'm a little conflicted. Like I don't really know where he belongs on this list. Um, the Grizzlies are gonna need some production, so I feel like it's gonna. I don't know. What are you thinking?
Yeah, defense was stellar as a rookie. Kind of burst onto the scene, came out of nowhere in that
Yeah.
regard. And I think his offensive game had some promise too. I think without Desmond Bain, he will get more opportunity. Looking at our list here, I think I put him in front of like Cam Johnson. Like I'm pretty high on him.
Do it, man. I haven't watched. I've watched basically just like the end of the season, Jalen Wells. So it's like
This kind of makes me
what
want to demote Devin Vassell like all the way behind DeAndre Hunter. I can't lie to you.
behind DeAndre Hunter
Yeah,
or
I'm like, maybe I put him too high. I'm just like, uh,
it's
but
you
C
know,
tier still be players.
yeah. Well, it's very pregnant right now. We'll figure it out. I gotta keep
Oh
saying
God, no!
it. Come
Please,
on,
anything but
it's
pregnant.
so anything but pregnant. Such a funny sentence to say. And literally anything but pregnant.
Okay, next.
Oh, is this the Pelicans? Oh my
We have the
God.
Pelicans. We
Oh.
have Trey Murphy the third, because I think their Herb will be the two, and I think that CJ will be the one.
No, DeJounte.
Or DeJounte. Nope, CJ
Jordan
got traded.
Poole.
That's who I meant. I meant DeJounte or Jordan Poole. Yeah, I feel like because we had Zion at the four, we had Eves Missy at the five. I feel like if they have Trey Murphy or Herb Jones come off the bench, I will be mad. So
Yeah, I
like
mean I agree.
make
But I feel like who earns more money? Is it Herb Jones or Trey Murphy the third? No, no, you're right. Trey Murphy the third. I think it's gonna be Herb Jones off the bench, honestly. But we'll talk about that next time. But I think it's
okay.
Trey Murphy the third to
You
be
think
the
they're gonna
three.
start DeJounte and Jordan Poole? That's yucky. I don't like that.
Yeah, but I feel like DeJounte. We'll talk about it next time. It's
Okay. Trey
yeah,
Murphy the
it's
third, a player that I like a lot. He has been probably my favorite, maybe my second favorite Pelican in the Zion era. Him and Herb Jones really have been kind of the top two. But Trey Murphy, solid defender, not as good as Herb Jones, but solid defender in that respect. And then one of those guys, I've said it before, he shoots the ball, and I'm just like, yep, it's going in.
mhm.
And feels like he has unlimited range. And I think last year he kind of showed off a little more with his offensive package, kind of slashing a little bit, kind of handling the ball at times, not a ton, but at times. Not quite a playmaker or anything like that. This guy participated in the dunk contest. I don't even know if you know that. Like
No, I remember.
he,
I did not understand it.
he has athleticism. So there's a little more to his game that I think could be unlocked. It's just been so weird in New Orleans. Um, but this is the year. This is the year. We've said it every year on this podcast, probably. Um, I think I like Trey Murphy more than everyone on the C tier. Honestly, I think I would put him maybe like above Chris Middleton.
That's
That's like,
exactly where I was thinking. It's
oh,
exactly where I was thinking.
yeah.
Yeah, no, Trimmer the third has been. I agree. But him, it's been Herb Jones. It's been Kelly Olynyk when he was a Pelican. It's been no, I'm kidding.
Like not even like half a season.
No, I know. Just the one game I saw, I really liked. Sorry, so stupid. The Trevor the third is great. Deserves the money that he was able to sign and extend him on. Definitely. I trust him, you know? That's why I like him in B tier, like above Chris Middleton, because I trust him with the ball. I trust him when he shoots the three. I I trust that he's going to be healthy. I know there's a little issue. Pelicans had issues all around last year. So
Pelicans
maybe
got
I
health
shouldn't
issues
say
at
I
the
trust.
wazoo.
Maybe I shouldn't say I trust him with health. Um, but I just like his role on this team. I think it's perfect for him. I think he's one of the bright spots for sure.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, yes,
Five
yes.
more teams remaining.
Oh, why did they say six over here? That's six. Sorry.
Six more teams remaining. I just
Now
looked
it's
at it and I was like,
five.
yeah, that
Now it's
looks
five.
like five.
Yeah, now it's five. Bucks at the three. Who do we
Okay,
got?
so on the depth chart they had Kyle Kuzma.
Oh, Lord. Okay.
Uh, I put I put Torian Prince on here. And I
Let's
think
look
the
at
reason I
this.
put Torian Prince on here is because if Kuzma starts and Giannis starts, their backup four would be Torian Prince. No shot. Gary Trent as their backup three. AJ Green as their starting two. Cole Anthony as their backup two. Like this doesn't make any sense to me at
What is
all.
happening? Oh, this is wait, whoa, 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 whoa. Why is Ryan Rollins starting number one? That's kind of crazy to me.
Yeah,
Um,
their point guard position is a little scary for
this
sure.
dude, everything about this team is scary except for Giannis. I'm just like, what is this? And I guess Miles, but because like I'm like Bobby Portis is like a great backup for, but like yeah, if who's gonna
They're
back up?
paying Kuzma a lot. So
Yeah, they have to start him, but like
yeah.
I don't. The one and the two we're gonna have to have a conversation about for sure. Yeah, I don't understand that. Okay, Kyle Kuzma. Gosh. Watched a lot of Kuzma in the Lakers. Um, he is to me is the definition of hot and cold because he sometimes, man,
Shout
when he
out
had
Katy Perry.
shout out. Sometimes when he has the ball and he's like he's hot, he's just making everything. He's also just throwing it up. It never looks like it's gonna go in, and it does. It's always surprising. But I love as a Lake as when he was the Lakers fan, as the Lakers champion. I was like, okay, cool. It is what it is. He got traded to the Wizards. We don't talk about that trade. Didn't love that. But on the Wizards, he just kind of they were like, "Hey, it's the Wizards, go off," and he kind of did go off and played some really good couple seasons there. Good is good for the Wizards. I'll put it that way. His efficiency wasn't very good, but he could score. He was fine on defense, not great because they know. I feel like there was no discipline for defense for the Wizards really. Um, and then the Bucks made the trade. They made the trade. Chris Middleton, Kyle Kuzma, and some change. Um, and man, what a disappointment so far he's been for the Bucks. You know, 0 points, 17 minutes, zero,
Uh,
zero, 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 everything. 17 minutes is kind of crazy in a playoff game. Um, but what am I projecting for this year? This is gonna be his first full season on the Bucks. If they want to be successful, he's got to be better than zero everything in 17 minutes is the thing. Like you're being paid to be the third option, you
mhm.
know. But do I trust Kyle Kuzma? And I don't. Um, gosh,
Does he dare join Isaiah Okoro in the FT?
I was gonna do D. I thought putting him in D was kind of messed up, but I feel like
No, I'm just that was mostly a joke, but like I'm also like, what does Kyle Kuzma do? What does he
no, I
do anymore?
know, dude. It's probably top of D tier,
He
right?
just
Like,
runs around out there.
dude, like I mean, okay, let's talk about it. Would you rather have Oubre or Kuzma?
Uber.
Yeah, would you rather Dylan Brooks or Kuzma?
Dylan
Probably Dylan
Brooks.
Brooks. It's like okay,
Yeah.
he's top of D tier. Dial Duzma. We'll give it a D tier. Dude,
What's the chance that Kyle Knipple has a better season than Kyle Kuzma?
dude. Hi. No, 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 no. Hold on, hold on. Sorry, sorry. Hold on. Let's think, okay. We're going a little off the rails. Let's think about this. The Bucks are still trying to contend. The
Yeah.
Hornets are not.
Well,
Trying.
content is a strong word for them, but
Yeah. I mean, but they're like the East is prime for the taking. Let's, do
of
something.
course, all these young, high ceiling players all in one tier, just as it should be.
Wait, also, I would love to talk about the Bucks. How are they put together so poorly? They have one supermax player. Everyone else is like what they couldn't get any. This is
Yeah, their roster doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
this is I would talk to that GM and be like, yo, man,
I just hope Kyle Kuzma does anything this year. That's my hope that he
I
doesn't look like a disaster on the basketball court.
dude, I kind of hope we're wrong when we look at this. We're like, oh yeah, he was C tier. It's not going to be more than that. I'll tell you that much.
He should have been F tier. Damn.
Oh my God. That is so
Oh,
crazy. That's so crazy.
Brooklyn. All
Ah,
right,
and
so
another fun team to talk about.
yeah, I don't know if they had a single net. Oh, they had Michael Porter Jr. on here, but we had him as the power forward, Claxton as the center because the depth chart had Noah Clowney as the power forward, and that didn't make a ton of sense to us. I think Terrence Mann makes sense for me. That's who I have added to our list here as the starting three, because I think their backcourt will be Yegor Dioman, who they drafted with the eighth pick, and Cam Thomas, who they just re-signed. I feel like that's the starting backcourt. Terrence Mann slots in at the three, and we can look at their depth chart if you want, because it is a fun one to look at every
Oh
time.
God. I honestly my favorite thing about looking at these is thinking how it made any sense in the first place. And also who the heck is Danny Wolf?
One of their five rookies.
Oh geez, of course.
So
Oh
is
yeah,
Ben
Hayward
Sarah.
Highsmith is there.
Yeah,
God.
Haywood Highsmith is there. Um, which is funny as well. He just like randomly ended up there. They traded like a second round pick for him, right?
Yeah, like one pick. It's crazy. No, yeah, I think Terrence Mann makes sense. He's definitely being paid for that kind of money. He's also one of the only like he's not even a veteran, but he's definitely played on like
Compared to the rest of
contending.
their roster, he's
Hit,
certainly is a
yeah,
veteran.
him and Michael Porter Jr. are the only people really who really played on contending teams. So
Right.
tell me about Terrence Mann.
Terrence Mann is a solid player. I feel like he has been the same player basically his entire NBA career. Had little spurts in that Clipper series with the Jazz we mentioned earlier. Um, but he's not quite a shooter, okay defender, kind of a playmaker. I mean, he kind of does everything like average or just below average. Um, but he is not making terrible errors to cost your team basketball games like some people on this list. That being said, honestly, man, like Terrence Mann, I feel like is pretty tapped out. I think he's probably lower than everyone on the C tier. So does that mean he's in the D tier? What do you got for
Um,
me?
it's interesting. I like Terrence Mann. I liked watching him on the Clippers. He was one of my more favorite players to watch on that team, just because he really he plays like he loves the game, which I appreciate. Fortunately, the game he loves, he's not as good as some other people. I did see him play in Santa Monica one time and was in the same gym as him, which was pretty cool. So S
Best
tier,
friends.
kidding, kidding. I mean, would I rather have Oubre or him on my team? It's a toss up. Um, I like that Terrence Mann is younger, but he's on the Nets. What can you really expect from him? And he's also they're definitely more prioritizing like, yo, Yegor, Cam Thomas go off. Even like Claxton, like have a good. They're not gonna like Michael Porter Jr. Like, they're not gonna really try to like develop them. Like they're like done, which I don't like saying. Like there is more, but like in this scene where they are, that's not really like the Nets. They're not gonna try to cultivate that. They're trying to try to these younger guys because like you said, Terrence Mann is tapped out. Like he is the player he's going to be. That being said, I feel like he is a C tier player, but he does not match with the C tier we have here. So he's probably the top of D tier. But I'd rather have him than Kyle Kuzma. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just such a shame when some players just
Darren's Dan in the D tier.
not Darren, son.
Darren's Dan. Come on, man. Come on.
Atlanta.
Atlanta. Who do we got starting at the three? Is it Risha Shea?
Risache
Reached a shade. Okay, very cool. So, number one overall pick 2 years ago, right? Yeah.
last year.
Last year,
Yep.
that was last year, wasn't it? Was he rookie of the
Wimby was two
year?
years ago.
No, it's Stephon Castle. Sorry, that's
Yeah.
what it was. Okay. Zachary Ricochet really came into the player that he could be toward the end of the season. Really became, like, I think when he was drafted, they said this guy's his ceiling is a really good role player.
Yeah.
And then you know what he did by the end of his rookie year? Became a really good role player. Um,
So
I
true.
like, yeah, I liked what he did a lot with the Hawks. Has really good defense, has a really big wingspan, fits really well with Trey Young and Dyson Daniels. And I mean, we've talked so much about how good the offseason was. I think they're only going to be better. I think they're going to trust Ricochet more with the ball. I definitely trust him more on defense and defending some of these more elite level offensive players. He's just getting better over this off season, and then next year is going to be great. I mean, ooh, it's oh gosh, oh,
Yeah, that's a tough one. That's a tough one to throw.
I mean, it's tough because I'm like back a B tier, but I like Denny Avdia more. But yeah, I'm being conflicted between B and C, but I don't know if it's more like in the middle of C or back a B or something. There's a range,
Yeah,
that's
that's
for sure.
fair. When I heard his name, I was like, is this the B tier? Which is surprising because I feel like neither of us have been like vocally super high on Risa, but then we came in here on here and both kind of had a similar thought, I think, in terms of placing him so high. Was the number one overall pick. That being said, relatively weak draft class, right? No crazy hyped prospect like some of these other years. But I do think he kind of came into his own and had a solid rookie year, like you mentioned, as kind of a role player for the Hawks. And I think he'll continue to do that and develop parts of his game. Another underrated playmaker, I think, at the three as well, which is a nice, useful skill set to have. I think I would put him around like the Denny range. That's kind of where he feels to me as a player. I feel like the ceiling obviously is higher, so maybe I would put him at the top of C tier. And then that makes me kind of want to like move some more people down.
Yeah, or we move people up.
That's fair. I mean, I look at this tier and I'm like, yeah, I
Yeah.
don't know if he's there yet.
Is Deli Dubre the king of D
No,
tier?
no, no. Kelly Oubre is so good.
I know. You know what? You know what? Let's leave it as is. We're leaving it. We're leaving it pregnant
we're
as
leaving it
shit.
nice and pregnant.
Nice and
Shit.
pregnant.
That was a tough one. Okay.
I don't regret. Was it Jade McDaniels?
Jaden McDaniels. Funny because
Wow.
I have the Commanders Packers game pull up their quarterback Jaden Daniels for the Commanders. So um,
Good talk, man.
very
No, I'm
similar.
kidding. No, yeah. I
Okay.
always get confused when you
Sorry.
say when I hear Jane Daniels, I'm like, why is the basketball player playing football right now?
What? Why is the basketball player playing the football? I don't
Yeah,
understand.
that's crazy. Jaden McDaniels, wow. Love this player. Love what he does for the Timberwolves. Elite defense. His offensive game, I mean, you can call him the Lakers killer because he was killing us on offense. Basically, whenever Jaden McDaniels scored more than 10 points in the Lakers series, they won. The only game that we won, he scored like only 6 points,
Hmm.
which maybe is an indication. But Jaden McDaniels is an incredible NBA player, can really defend almost like all five positions. He's like that quick. His wingspan is that wide enough. Like I would trust him on. You definitely he's the defender you want on your best player. His offensive game has really come into his own. He's making threes more than he was before. Sometimes he'll do a spot up like mid-range jumper, which is not in his wheelhouse earlier, really. But now you can kind of trust him with that. His role is going to be also amplified because I mean they don't have a Nikhil Alexander Walker coming off the bench
Hmm.
to like, even though he's more of a backup too. I mean he could really play defend the three as well. So they don't really have to trust him on defense even more this year. I am, I mean to he's elite. I mean he's A level for sure, but maybe back at A level just because like the legacy, Jimmy Butler, like that's kind of
Ah, the
crazy.
legacy.
But then like Franz Wagner's also up there. Like, this is interesting. A tier is an interesting bunch. Um, but
Yeah.
like who I would rather have Jay McDaniels on my team than Jimmy Butler. Um, but maybe that's just me. What do you think?
It's interesting. I do think the defense is very, very good. That is really not to be disputed. I think the offense comes and goes. Last year it seemed to come more than it went, so that was nice. And hopefully that stays the same this year. I like your point about more responsibility as kind of the players on the Timberwolves have fallen off over time. Of course, they traded Cat last offseason. No more Na, like you mentioned. Is Julius Randle, Dante DiVincenzo. They have some other guys that can kind of score a little bit here and there, but aside from Anthony Edwards in the offense, definitely no kind of primary guy. So that makes sense. I think it's interesting because I honestly, when I was looking at it, was thinking I was thinking more B tier, but I do think I would have him above definitely Brandon Ingram, which means obviously in front of everyone else there. I just don't know how crazy Cooper Flag is going to be this year. But no, I think I could put him above Cooper Flag and not feel terrible about it. Jimmy Butler is such a stud in the playoffs; it gets a little difficult there.
Okay.
I think I would maybe put Jimmy ahead of Franz, and then I would put Jaden also ahead of Franz.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, they've really both of them like Jimmy Butler's proven himself in the playoffs many times. Jaden McDaniels has proven himself in the playoffs recently. Franz has yet to do that, so I get it. I think it makes sense to me.
Small forward's a wacky position, man. This is
It
wacky.
really
Also,
is.
you did two in a row, but whatever.
And you're gonna complain? No, I'm kidding. You
And
go,
now I'm gonna do two in a row to end this off.
please.
To send this off. Aswar Thompson, for the Detroit Pistons, Jared's own. Good player. I like his brother a little more, but that's just me. That's just Rockets bias. What can I say?
Hey,
I actually think Asar Thompson, shockingly, even though his brother made an all defensive team last year, Asar Thompson might be a better defender. His defense is really, really good. Super hustle, super heart. I think the only reason he didn't get the rep for it his brother did is because he didn't play as much. Um, because he had, the blood clot the year before, a couple of injuries here and there. So makes sense, but I think he is very, very good on that side of the ball. I think the shooting obviously isn't really there. The offensive game really isn't there overall. But this is kind of what we were talking about Isaac Okoro earlier, and I was like, his defense isn't elite. This guy's defense is elite, um, and so elite that I think it bumps him right above all the D tier players, and somewhere in this massive C tier that has 100 players in it already. Where in the C tier? Uh, probably. It's crazy because I want to say like towards the back, but I really do like Asar Thompson. I just think his game is pretty, open and shut. There's not a lot of like potential rising unless he somehow kind of becomes a crazy offensive player. I just don't know if that's going to happen.
I mean, let's look at it this way. Like on the Pistons, I mean, who else is playing defense really?
I
A
mean, the
little bit
starting
of
line is
Duren,
probably Cade, Jaden Ivey, Tobias Harris we did last time, and Duran
Duren.
is like
Yeah,
not
so
even a great
it's
defender himself. So
it's like, Josh Thompson's going to be your primary defender. Um, a lot of these guys will probably are going to also label themselves as primary defenders, but like how elite of defender are they compared to Asar? I mean, Asar is really good. Um, that's
he
why I
might be
kind of
the best defender on this list.
no, sorry, no, Jaden McDaniels. Come on, man.
Jaden's up there for sure. Jaden,
OG, OG.
I forgot OG was on here.
Yeah, I was about to say. I mean Kawhi, but he's
That's
old, so
tough.
I get that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Asar's top five, top five. I'll give him that defender for sure.
Yeah, Kawhi, OG, Jaden, even like a Dylan Brooks maybe.
I mean, I was like thinking like Asar Thompson, like would rather have Dylan Brooks or Asar Thompson, and like I think probably Asar just because he's younger. And Devin Vassell, I'd rather have Asar, and then DeAndre Hunter to me is kind of where it like maybe stops, just because I don't know if I trust Asar as much, but maybe above. I don't know. That's somewhere in that range. I don't think he's better than Jalen Wells. I wouldn't put him like up there, but I don't know if you want to put him back there or in front. But
it's fine. I'm okay with this.
golly, man,
Okay, whoever
God,
this last player is, he can't be in the C tier. Houston Rockets.
uh,
I wonder who it will be. Okay, Kevin Durant. Let's put you right up in the S tier, buddy.
yeah.
Um,
Oh,
where
big
in the S
old buddy,
tier? I
old
don't know. I'm gonna
pal.
put him at the back for now, then we can talk about it.
Cool.
He's an offensive machine. The guy's a scoring monster. Also, his defense is pretty underrated for where he's at in his career, especially with his old age. I think he is going to be excellent for us this year on the Rockets. He is going to raise our ceiling quite a bit, despite being the two seed last year. I think we have championship aspirations now with Kevin Durant on our roster. I don't see a ton of regression. Yes, he is like 37 now. Like he's up there too in age, but again, one of those players that he is not often, he's not crossing you over and going to dunk. He's just 7 feet tall. He's going to shoot right over you. And he can do that even when he's old. And I think he can still be a respectable defender at that age too. Um, let me start. I think at this point he's better than LeBron. I think at this point he's better than Kawhi. I'd maybe put him first. I'd maybe put him all the way at the top.
Rockets bias?
Rockets, suspicious.
Hmm. Seven Surrant in the S tier, I think. I actually was thinking him as top of S tier as well. So, got a sandwich some of the two worst franchises with the two best.
There
Got
you
to.
go. Yeah, the
No, yeah, Kevin Durant has time and time again, really think he's, comes back from an Achilles injury, plays probably not as good as he was, but so good, so like so solid, and just still be able to play at an all-star level. Also last year he played a lot. Like he missed some time, but he was still played like a lot. Like you really trust his health more than I have recently, even though he's like, just getting older. And I don't know because of the aspirations for the championship and because of the team, the way this team is constructed. really think Kevin Durant being at the top of S tier makes a lot of sense for next season. Um, yeah, I think this is it.
Think this is it? Okay. Do we want to shift anything around? Is there anything that catches your eye that you're like, I don't know. I don't know about that.
I mean, Coop is kind of crazy high, but like also, I'm all for these takes, man.
I mean,
Diddy's a little low, but it's fine.
where would you, I mean, like, where would you suggest moving these players?
Cooper Flag, I think is fine because I like that. Um, I kind of don't hate moving Ricochet and Avdi up to be like the back.
Okay.
I honestly, I really
Get
think,
get that C tier a little less pregnant.
yeah, and that wasn't even, it's not even a way to, I really just think next year they both have a really great opportunity to, again, not really like break out like all-star, but like kind of be like, wow, if some of the players in these conferences weren't there, they would totally be like an all-star, like, top 20, something like that. I think
Hmm.
it's totally possible. I think it just makes sense to me. And everything else I think looks solid. I feel terrible for Isaac Okoro, but I don't like when no one's down there. Play that much.
I really want to put Kuzma in that
Dude, it was for
tier.
the lols, it would be pretty funny. I just don't think it's gonna be true. If I'm being honest, I think it would be hilarious, but I
Fair.
just don't think it's gonna be true. Ugh.
It's fair. It's fair. It's fair. It's fair.
Yeah.
Fair. I got
I'm
it's
cool with
like,
this. I'm cool with
yeah,
this.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. This
Shall we
this is looking
review?
good.
I'll let you take us
Let's
here.
let's recap our 2025-2026 starting small forward projection tiers. Dom, please take it away.
Oh, I was gonna let you take it because it's your guy at the top. It's your team.
Okay, in S tier we have Kevin Durant, Jaylen Brown, Kawhi Leonard, LeBron James. LeBron James.
That's elite company. That's a legacy right there.
That's
A
all
tier.
Finals MVPs.
Hey, there we go. A tier, we got Jalen Williams, J Dub, OG Anunoby, Jimmy Butler, Jaden McDaniels, and Franz Wagner.
In the B tier, we have Cooper Flag, Brandon Ingram, DeMar DeRozan delivers, Andrew Wiggins, Trey Murphy III, Cash Money Chris Middleton, Zachary Richachet, and Deni Avdia.
C tier, we have Aaron Neesmith, Jalen Wells, Cam Johnson, DeAndre Hunter, Asar Thompson, Devin Vassell, Dylan Brooks, and Kelly Oubre.
Jr. In the D tier, Terrence Mann, Kyle Kuzma, Ace, Bailey, Khan, Knimpel.
F tier, we have Isaac Okoro, and in spirit, Kyle Kuzma.
We wish we could have bumped him down there.
Yeah,
So that is your projecting of the starting small forwards in 2025, 2026. Take a little screenshot so I don't forget.
Ali, beautiful.
And that's it.
Yeah, that's the
That,
show.
that's the show. That's what that took forever. Oh my God.
It's okay. Hey, well, I just want to say again, thank you everyone for listening. Like, comment, subscribe. We'll catch you very soon. We got shooting guards to look forward to, point guards, and Damon took the shot and missed. Unfortunately, he will make it again one day. I have faith.
Unfortunate is
And
crazy.
um, this is a crazy night for me. It's a lot happening. Elite S tier. That's a legacy right there. Um,
That's a legacy.
this has been Two Man Game with Damon and Dom.
Buckets.